Debate, don't hate. 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 We're gonna take you back, gonna take you way back with the positive rap. Now tell me, how about that? And in a matter of fact, yo, don't believe the hype. We about to shine a light, it's about to be out of sight. The classic sound that's coming back around. It's the ultimate breakdown that you can get down to, and it's brand new just for you. So take a listen, and here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take you back, we're gonna take you way back to the sounds of the past for the message that will last. Debate, don't hate. 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 Say debating and you say hating. Now let's get to it, no hesitating. Come on, let's debate it. This hatred is faded. Now get up on the mic and tell me what you say. We came here to have a good time. We came here to free our minds. Don't leave that negativity behind, 'cause it's a celebration of life. We're gonna take you back, gonna take you way back with a positive rap. Now tell me, how about that? And in a matter of fact, yo, don't believe the hype. We about to shine a light, it's about to be out of sight. A classic sound that's coming back around. It's the ultimate breakdown that you can get down to, and it's brand new just for you. So take a listen, and here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take you back. We're gonna take you way back to the sounds of the past with the message that will last. Debate, don't hate. Debate, don't hate. Debate, don't hate. Debate, don't hate. Debate, yo, I say debating and you say hating. Now let's get to it, no hesitating. Come on, let's debate it, this hatred is faded. Now get up on the mic and tell me what you're saying. We came here to have a good time. We came here to free our minds. Don't leave that negativity behind, 'cause it's a celebration of life. Don't hate. Don't hate. Don't hate. Don't hate. Debate, don't hate. Came here to
Insomniac, sitting spins now on the air for all the night freaks who can't sleep. I'm the Insomniac, Juvon, and today we're gonna take a look at some of my flicks. So you're getting where you fit in. Sit down, shut up, and listen. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to flick it. Welcome to the Insomniac Sit and Spin. Welcome to the Insomniac Sit and Spin. Welcome to the Insomniac Sit and Spin. Welcome to the Insomniac Sit and Spin.
Went out because we only had a little bit, but are you high on cigarettes? And when that stuff runs out, you're gonna wanna make it. Are you high on cigarettes?
Let's watch Juvon's weirdness and get high on cigarettes. Let's watch Juvon's weirdness and get high on cigarettes. Let's watch Juvon's weirdness and get high on cigarettes. Let's watch Juvon's weirdness and get high on cigarettes. Do you know that you're right or wrong? 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 He don't smoke them, but he loves it when you do. That's why he's high on cigarettes. And if you find him, you should light him up a few. He's getting high on cigarettes. Let's watch Juvon's weirdness and get high on cigarettes. watch Juron's witness and get high on cigarettes. Let's watch Juron's witness and get high on cigarettes. Let's watch Juron's witness and get high on cigarettes. Do you know that you're right or wrong? 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 Do you know that you're right or wrong?
There's something very unusual going on at Taco Bell. Something you wouldn't expect. We're making pizza. Mexican pizza. It's like pizza, but it's different, with a crispier double tortilla crust, ground beef, and 2 kinds of cheese. More fresh ingredients. And it's made for one person. Mexican pizza. Maybe you wouldn't expect it from an ordinary fast food place, but at Taco Bell, you would.
Yo quiero Taco Bell.
That's a fact. Jack, what is up, guys? Hope everybody can hear me. Hope y'all can see me. Tippy's been all over my computer stuff here, so let me know if it sounds echoey or if I think Sunday I had some audio issues. So y'all keep me apprised. 1931 Leatherworks, what is up, brother? That is 1931 Leatherworks. Leatherwork, ironically, right there. We'll talk about this some tonight. Little pocket dropper. Beautifully wet molded. Keep it in my back pocket. It is a banger, in my opinion. I'm partial though. I'm biased. How is everybody doing on this Tuesday night? I'm glad y'all stay up a little late. I'll try not to get too loud and crazy in case some of y'all sleep to this stuff. Marco, channel member, what's up? Be Shady, what is up? Oh man, you made it. You're here in spirit if you do fall asleep. Again, one of my favorite internet IG channels. Some of the best stuff. What is up? Richard Hopkins, the man, the myth, the legend, and my buddy. Good to see you, channel member. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We got Henry G, channel member in the house. Howdy, Henry. Happy Tuesday to you, my friend. I was just waiting for Tri-State, even though I was over there for a while, and I think there might be 1 or 2 people that I recognize. I didn't recognize hardly anybody, which is cool because it shows how big the knife community really is. You know, there's so many people that are interested in so much cool stuff. I found it cool. So he usually goes from 7 to 10. So I'm not going to move the time up to 10 o'clock the way I publish it, but I'm going to try to go live about 3 or 4 minutes after he finishes, 5 minutes, something like that, around 10 o'clock, we'll say. That's what I'm shooting for on Tuesdays because I know it's late. I do it because it's fun. And sometimes we're up for 10 hours. That's even weirder. Neil McKenzie, channel member, what's up? Loving the profile picture. Loving that black kitty cat. Meow. that's something we can probably watch and not get copyright stricken. I've been seeing on my Instagram feed is full of the coolest big cat videos, and they're not gruesome. They're just cool. And like they're one where these two lions walk up to each other, these two male lions, and it's, I guess, on a safari somewhere, people are filming it, and you think they're getting ready to go at it because that's usually not a good sign, but they rub up against each other and then they start just hardcore loving. I don't know if they were brothers, if they were, what's a politically correct word for didn't like lionesses, but they were, it's a cool video. But so what's so weird is you never know what's real. I have to send Kyle Coonley posts all the time from Tiger Woods to see if it's real or if it's been AI, older stuff. So you can't believe, one of the things we learned today is you can't believe, even if your eyes see it on the internet, that doesn't necessarily mean it's true. It's still, there's a lot of great information that you can use to cross reference, and a lot of things are true, but a lot of things, especially the visual stuff that you will start seeing on Instagram, if you look in there, if they do it right, they have to post that it was created with AI or with the help of AI. I did that today when I posted my thumbnail on Instagram because I do use AI. This guy right here, where is he? That dude's AI. That dude's AI. My Lego guy is AI. That's basically, I uploaded a selfie and it shit that out. Depending on the different styles. I even got other ones that are weirder. It's kind of been a stressful day, so I'm going to keep stressful brain up there. We'll ease into calm brain here shortly. That's kind of like the state. What is up? The man, the myth. You won your second giveaway, Fred the Lug? Congratulations, buddy. Did you went over at Rob's? Hey, it's good things happen. Like I say, we have I do members giveaways, and we usually have about 18, 19 people, and I'm just convinced that everybody's going to win at some point, because the way I look at it is all the knives kind of find the person that will either appreciate them or have somebody that will or needs a knife, so congratulations, buddy. Guys, this is the fret. So we're going to talk about it here in a second. The lanyard is probably going to get cut off during the live. I tried to tie a snake knot, which I can tie, but this is that thick survival paracord that's got like a Kevlar wire in it. It's got fishing line. You can take out the 9 strands, and some of them are thicker fire starter. It's cool paracord, but it's not optimal for tying decorative stuff, right? We got brother Mattisfaction. I can remember seeing that, Maddie, when I was in high school. That was probably one of the funniest things you would see written on bathroom door stalls. Here I sit, broken farted, came to shit, but only farted. You can find some funny stuff. I don't go in public bathrooms as often, or I avoid them as often as possible. But if you ever find yourself in there and it's like a bar, I don't go to bars anymore, but there's some really good limericks, some good creative writing, some doxing, what we call doxing in the modern time. They used to dox by putting people's phone numbers out there for a good time call, 867-5309. Y'all remember that? Jenny, maybe not. That's old school. What is going on? Marchitas Wallace. What is up, my friend? Welcome. Marchitas. I wonder if that is that this Cheeto? That's what I was thinking. I always get screwed up. And I'll tell you, I will also get screwed up. Louis, what is going on? Stevie's tried to get me a couple of times because he's a master troll of getting people to say, what was it? Gay boners or something like that. Gay boners. He'll put a name up there that sounds funny and super chat somebody or something. I try to look at that stuff. It's weird because having ADHD, I have very little control. I'm not using that as an excuse. My brain will think something and it kind of comes out of my mouth before I kind of realize what it is. So I'm kind of as shocked as anybody else if it's something that's random, because then I have to go into explain what created the thought. It's usually humor or a bad attempt at humor. But yeah, I'm gonna do my best to stay focused because I forgot what I was even talking about there. Brando Blaze Outdoor Gear. What is up, buddy? You're not a moderator. You've been in here enough for me to make you a moderator because I don't want somebody to put you in timeout. What that means is with the moderator wrench, which everybody has, comes great responsibility. Don't abuse it, but you can abuse it to share your links, friends of yours that have pages, products, as long as they're YouTube terms and service, right? Just good to see you here, my friend. And now you can't be just slammed into timeout by somebody except me. Fred the Lug, you're not a moderator. I know Fred the Lug. I've met him in person. I've said hi to him. Make Fred a moderator. All right. The Brass Brigades, the man, the myth, the legend. Dude, what is up? I'm going to send you a link. I know you might not be here long enough, but I know we were talking about Friday night, but I'm just going to, while I'm here, shoot you a link in case you want to pop on. Do not pop on if you aren't planning on it. Do not pop on if you're hanging with the fam. I'm glad to see you in the chat. Guys, that's Brass Brigades. Jason Grant makes some of the coolest little EDC fixies. Kind of got me into EDC fixies early on. He was the guy that would talk to me about the kind of knives I liked and make me that kind of knife at a very good price. And he still has great prices for what he does too. Let me go to Instagram because I don't have my phone. I've got it showing the fret. Let's go to messages. Go to Brother Jason. And if you're not following Brass Brigade, I'm going to drop him in the chat. You definitely should be because that's where you find out what he's working on. He posts a lot of video of work actually being done at his where he gets his stuff done. If you're into body art, if you're into tattooing, he's got a page called Jason Grant Tattoos. It's got over 10,000 followers. He's an absolute artist, a legend in the game. But he's also in the knife game. So that is that's why if you ever hear him talk on the live streams, I find it fascinating because he kind of approaches making knives the same way he approaches texture on somebody's skin. He thinks of it much more organically. I find that really cool. But let me send him a link before I forget. Hold on. And he might not be able to jump in, but all I got to do, because this is a new, i.e., allegedly improved StreamYard interface. And I will tell you from my personal experience, which I only used it for the first time on Sunday, and then they changed something else that made it better. They fixed something that I thought was kind of buggy, but it's still buggy. So I apologize. I will stumble more than usual. Who've I missed? Who've I missed? Good to see you, Brother Jason. I hope you're doing well, buddy. I hope you were very successful at your little pew competition. Joe Isabella, the man, the myth, and the legend. You sit there and lurk all you want to, buddy. I will try to not throw out random cuss words in case there are little people around. I'm hoping that my self-control and my confidence and my maturity allow me to remove my parental advisory warning on my little background here and on my thumbnails. Again, I think cuss words are fine. I don't have a problem with them. And sometimes I think there's a specific cuss word that begins with an F and ends with a K that, being an English major, I realize it's very unique because it can be used in so many different instances. It can be so many different types of a word. And I enjoy saying it. I say it too much. So I'm trying to get better, but I will screw up. So I'll try to do my best. Who have I missed? Kathleen Smith, welcome, young lady. Good to see you, channel member. I'm glad you are here. I know everybody else is glad to see you. Hopefully we'll have a few guests tonight. And I'm not putting the pressure on you, Brass Brigade. I'm hoping Kyle jumps in. I'm hoping Ryan Ellis joins us. and I hope Shane joins us. But what I want to show you guys is a knife that I drew up about 6 months ago. I'd been talking to Shane, and he'd been making knives, as you guys know. He makes knives, and he said, if you will want to design something, if you like a small EDC fixed blade that you think you'd like, and you want to design it, and we went through it a couple of different renditions, but I'll make it for you. And then if you want to, you can offer it to people, and we can dictate kind of what it is. So this is the Fret Gen 1. I've got another one coming that Kyle Coonley is sharpening. I actually sharpened this one on my TS Prof. It is super thin. It is super slicey, but it is a tall, flat ground, Magna Cut, heat treated at 64. It's actually heat treated at 65, but I'm going to say 64. I was going to get my Sharpie. Only because it's a little guy, but it's a tall guy. So that's it next to a Sharpie. That's why I keep it in my back pocket. But it's tall, flat ground, doesn't have a choil because it's got the Spyderco plunge that's 90 degrees. So you just put your stone up to that and sharpen. It just made the choil work better. And Shane, I took it to Blade Show, but I didn't show it to anybody because we thinned the handle out, shortened the handle a little bit, and put this little swedge in it. It was all Shane kind of analyzing it and getting feedback from people that handled it. But it is a small little guy, but it doesn't have jimping, has a very, let's see how thick it is. Shane's told me, I forget. Let me get my calculator. My point is the spine feels really good to lay your finger. I use it for cutting cardboard. I'm actually going to my mom's tomorrow because she's got a ton that she's got to cut down, and I'm going to use it. I'm actually going to film it. 0.1500 is the starting thickness, and it gets down to, I want to say, 8 or 10 thou. But I got it to be an EDC. For me, you guys know EDC is cutting open cat food, cutting open peanuts, cutting open weird stuff, cutting paracord. I just don't want to cut my finger, and I can't see because of the mic. But it's very sharp, really rips through cardboard. I've been kind of abusing it just to see, how it holds up. And I want to get rid of the lanyard. I'm going to reach in my pocket. I'm carrying my Slim Midi today. I'm going to try to do this without cutting my hand. So y'all bear with me. If I don't seem focused on you, it's because I'm not. Because I've got two very sharp knives in my hand. But got rid of the lanyard. Don't really need it, but the lanyard hole does. Like when Scott at Aries EDC puts his lanyards on his knives, to me, like on my pedal, which I've got put up right now, right behind me, it feels so natural because it's just like a stiff little tail. I have a hard time getting them nice and tight. That's kind of it looks to me like amber. I've got different lights in the studio, but it's kind of an amber colored. I think of amber like was in Jurassic Park. And you can see the slurry that when I was putting the edge bevel on it, I got a little crazy. I'm not into cosmetics, but it is a demo, a user for me to, sell off of, to show, to test, to see if there's anything, because this is the second version I've actually held. And to me, it feels absolutely perfect. You can hold it a lot of different ways. But it's got it's not a hard use knife. It would be a great feather sticker, like a light camp knife, food prep knife, a skinner if you're a hunter, a fisherman. It doesn't have what I call a splinter digger point. It does. It's pointy, very pointy, but it's not what I consider splinter digger. Now it is a piercer if you need it to be, and it's wide. So when I say wide, I mean tall. It is, the blade is right under 1.5 inches tall, and I can't read a tape measure right. But I thought it was cool. It's exactly what I'd envisioned. It's exactly, well, it's a little better than what I drew. It's much more than I expected it would be in terms of how I like it. And I really want to use it to see how long it holds my crappy edge. And I'm really looking forward to see the one that Kyle's sharpening now, then sending to Terry. But they're cool little knives, guys. They are going to be available. I've got to finalize a couple of things with Shane to make sure I understand how he wants to schedule them out, because I know he's got 3 or 4 that he's working on. Don't know how many of those are spoken for. I don't think those count the ones that are spoken for, but just another option through Edgy American Blade Works that I've got kind of my thumbprint on. And I'll warn you guys, I don't plan on doing it, but when Shane told me how to draw a knife to get some French curves and, you know, how to kind of think about it, because like I think I've told you guys, I'm not very spatial. Like, I worked in construction. I actually had a contractor's license and worked building houses, but that was working a cell phone. I worked with a lot of architects. I had a very hard time visualizing space looking at it in 2D, right? I'm just not that guy. So I didn't know where to start on drawing a knife. And Shane was like, well, look at elements of different knives that you like and order off Amazon a set of $7 or $8 French curves, which I didn't even know what that was, but it's just little plastic curves. You get like 3 to 5, depending on what, and you can get kind of any dimension you want. And if you think about it, knives are usually a series of curves in different ways. So, I started playing with it, started drawing different stuff. And this is actually the one I focused on. Um, and I really like it. I'm very, very pleased with it. I look forward to testing it tomorrow. Like I said, I'm going to be cutting a lot of cardboard. I'm going to try to do that on film, even though I don't take good videos outside because I'm not a creative guy, but I'm going to do my best and not cut myself at the same time, because this is scary sharp. And I sharpened this, which to me, I can tell a lot about a heat treat or more, or as much when I sharpen it. I've got Veneve stones that are a couple of years old, but I haven't put 100 knives through them. I hadn't put 50 knives through them. I probably maybe sharpened 25 knives, small knives. Joe, it's kind of a, I don't know what you would necessarily call it. It's kind of a spear point. And again, you wouldn't want to do anything lateral with it because it comes down very, very thin. It's just kind of slicey. And see, 1931 Leatherworks, my little brother's very artistic. My daughter was a graphic design artist, and the reason she was is because she was such a could draw anything. I've never been able to draw freehand. I mean, all my stuff looks like, and this is no offense to third graders or no disrespect to third graders, but that a third grader drew it. If I've got something that I can line it up and then get a drawing with dimensions to somebody like Shane, who can, look at it, talk about it. We talk about some things that I didn't think about. One of the things I didn't think about was how to terminate the scales. And there's just so many different variations of this little knife in terms of the handles that I've seen, the stuff that can be done that Shane's starting to do with treating blades differently. And I'm just really excited to do something on a real, low key scale with one of my best buds who I know is doing it right. Right. To donate so I can reply. I don't understand. I'm clueless. Don't know what you're talking about, Mark. Cheetos. I wish I could loosely sketch, but for me, it's just as easy to start with it and just do it. But yeah, we can call it anything. I can call it kind of the chickadee stomper, even though I've been trying to think if I like it more than my chickadee. And the good thing about being addicted to chickadees is you've always got one close. So it's a chickadee chomper. Chickadee's 5 inches. I want to say the fret is maybe a smidge over 6. 6 exactly. 6 inches long. The blade is almost 2 3/4. Cutting edge is, and these aren't perfect measurements, roughly 2.5 on the cutting area. And then from your choil to the back of the handle, you're at roughly 3.5. So from right here to right here. And keep in mind, some people might say it's a cool knife, but it's too small. I like little knives. Shane, who's going to be making these knives, is a custom knife maker. So if someone liked this knife, but they wanted it to be, say, 14 inches long, I'm sure that could be worked out talking to Shane. I've told him he could do whatever he wants to do that people ask about with this design. So I like it little. It's pocketable. It is going to come with 1931 leatherwork sheath. That's how they're going to come. And I hope it's a cool knife. I hope you guys like it as much as I do. And I got you, buddy. Y'all chat. You got to remember, I'm a squirrel, right? So I'll look up, and at the same time, I don't want people to get, I don't mind y'all getting mad at each other. I don't mind y'all throwing shit back and forth at each other. I just don't want anybody to get, I just don't want it to be something that I should be trying to stop. You know what I'm saying? Louis, yeah, it was it's not anything that I've been, promoting or trying to, because I wasn't going to send it overseas. Not that there's anything wrong with it and have a bunch of them made. It's just I always wanted to, when Shane proposed the thought, I was ecstatic. It made me want to design a knife that I wanted to carry because I knew Shane could make it special. So that's how this one came to be. So yeah, this is it. This is the standard or the regular version. It's got fingerprints on it right now. And like I said, I need to sharpen it again to get some of those scratches out, but I love it. It's I call it 64 Magna Cut. I think this one tested right around 65, but I don't want to say 65 if some of them are going to come in at 64, and 64 is more than I would need. So yeah, I'm really stoked. And their new Steve, hey, what is up, brother? I was just talking about you, just bragging about you. I was calling the fret even a possible chickadee chomper. My favorite had been long replaced. I mean, it would eat the chickadee, but it's only 6 inches. So it's only an inch longer, but it's much more tall. That's the right word. And it feels much more, you've got much more grip, right? What is up, Sobex? Sobex Scooter. Since I've been watching other Scotty, I guess I've been calling you that now for 4.5 years. So I don't like to dox you. I should always use screen names, but that's got also a bad side because when I meet you guys at Blade Show, when you've got a memory like mine where I don't remember names in the first place, it's hard to remember real names if I haven't known them. I like to integrate a little of both. But that's me being flawed, a flawed human. Yeah. Blade geometry. Exactly. And dude, the way the modifications you came up with, the whole thing. I was telling these guys, tomorrow I'm helping my mom. She's got a new cat, but with the new cat comes a lot of big boxes from Amazon. And she wants me to cut down a lot of her cardboard to recycle, to put in her bin. And I'm going to set up over there with a camera and use the fret to just eat cardboard for a while. Just because I want to. So yeah, I'm going to do that tomorrow. I kind of make another short outside video. I don't know if y'all saw me trying to start a fire video. The company that I really like, these guys and gals at Key Unity, they reached out to me. They have a website, but they also sell on Amazon. They do titanium key stuff, but they also have a little titanium pencil sharpener that I really wanted. It's a double pencil sharpener, again, for my new love of drafting. And they reached out to me and they said, what would be cool is if you made a video showing how you can use a stick to feather stick with the sharpener, because it's a titanium sharpener with 2 holes. And I went to my buddy A to Z EDC. No, who did I talk to? Shane. I went to Shane. I was like, screw them. That's crazy. I'm not going to make a video. I would never do that. You know, Shane's like, "I always carry a pencil sharpener in my bug out bag for that very reason." Um, so he told me it was a legit thing. So I did it. I went and found a stick that would fit in there, used it instead of my knife. Um, had a stump out there and just kept twisting it because it made the finer. When I started putting it in, it made some fine, kind of sawdusty stuff. And then it made the big swirlies, went in, made a sharp stick, turned it around, made more of a sharp stick, and got my ferro rod. And it was a little bit breezy that day, but I started the fire. I got a little fire started using the sharpener. The titanium sharpener was a little bit more. I think it was like $34, but most of their stuff is very let me just show you guys. Again, not to shill it, but just because I think it's cool. And you'll see kind of the breadth of stuff that I'm talking about. When I say breadth, that's the wrong word. But the SKUs, the number of products that they've designed and offer, kind of there's a lot. Don't know if y'all can see that. I'm gonna but their whole jam is stuff that's in one way or another related to your key ring, right? Um, I don't understand how to use a lot of this stuff, but it's priced. You know, this is a little mini flashlight that's got a magnetic pull on a ring for $20. Little titanium keychain belt clip, one of those that just clips on your belt for $17.99. It's on sale now, but I've got the products I've tried from them is a little screwdriver. Let's go to it. Hold on. They sent me this pencil sharpener right here. This one's on a Kickstarter. This is one I really like. It's on a Kickstarter right now. But they sent me a little screwdriver for my keychain that I use for my Microtech zero blade play because there's a screw on the back of the blade that's very odd. It's a flathead screw that you just got to release because I forget what you call it, but they sent me that little setup, which is a little titanium magnetic handle that goes on your keychain and a little bit bigger than a sunglass screw. It's not a big screwdriver. It's not the screwdriver you're going to go out and I wouldn't even want to mess with my knife with it, but it's perfect I keep it right over here on my bench for my when I'm using that flat head for the only thing I use it for. And the Phillips works fine for smaller Phillips. But so the pencil sharpener, the little key ring, and that little driver they sent me to check out, and that's $14. You know, but they've got nail clippers, they've got pry bars, they've got these little scalpels. I've got one of these in my bug out bag. The one I bought off Amazon. It's like $50, but it's a little more bougie. It's titanium frame lock. But they've just got some cool stuff. So if y'all are interested, I have an affiliate link, but I haven't posted it anywhere yet. So I'm not worried about that. So y'all just look at this stuff. I buy it off Amazon because it comes quicker. I'm an Amazon Prime member. I don't know how these different key rings work because I don't carry a lot of keys, but they've got a lot of cool key solutions. And they're made well. I've handled them, carried them. I'm carrying one now on my little light, my little G5, which is a cool light for under $30. I like this. This is not on the Kickstarter. This one is done. You can get this now. This is a cool little titanium pencil sharpener. Not a lot of people use pencil sharpeners, but if you're artsy crafty or if you want to keep it in your bug out bag to make tinder with, they're small and they're very cool. And the people that I've been communicating with via DM and via email have been very nice, very responsive. Little mini AA or AAA battery titanium light. It kind of reminds me of, I forget that light. It doesn't operate like it, but I forget the little light that Lefty turned me on to that everybody fell in love with. It's just a small little EDC light. Put it on your keychain, put it on your pack, just cool stuff. that's enough of that. You can tell I'm going into hyper focus mode. It's kind of like slot machines, and I'm not a gambler. I'll get to the end of one page and I'm like, okay, well, there's going to be something cool right on the next page. I'm not all about these little knives. They're not that expensive, but I can't imagine trying to sharpen one of those knives. I would prefer something with a scalpel blade in it at that size. Titanium whistle. Weird stuff, right? Cool little slip joint. And they make it, looks like they make it in different sizes. You know, not probably the highest quality, but good materials and not very expensive, right? This is, what's the blade steel? Probably not even going to tell us the blade steel if I had to guess. I bet it's just a surgical stainless steel. 8CR13 MOV is the blade steel on that little guy. But keep in mind, it's a keychain knife. Little fountain pens, pins, pocket clips. You know the drill. Different stuff. But yeah, Key Unity has been a company that's that I just have worked with one time. They sent me this stuff out and asked if I'd make a video, and I felt like it was in the EDC realm because the thing is done. You can't really see it on this light, but it's a series of little micro cuts. So it's almost got like a lock bar has relief cuts. That's what makes this titanium spring back. And it's got a little can opener, which I don't use, or bottle opener. And then this little Rovivon light is like $30. And what's cool about it is it's got a 180-degree rotatable head, which means if you're a hiker and you're wearing a backpack, this clip, it's got a pocket clip that rotates to this side. Whoops. Or I can rotate it. Whoops. Got to push up a little bit. Let me do it with my right hand. Y'all won't be able to see it as much. I can put the clip right here, or I can push up and rotate it the back side of the light. So there are 3 positions that the clip will go into, which make it very cool for if you walk at night and you're wearing a baseball cap. So if I was wearing this baseball cap, I wouldn't want it like this. I would want the clip rotated like that. I'd want to turn my light 180 degrees like that. I'd take I wouldn't want the keychain on it. But then I just clip it to my hat, right? And if I've got a shoulder pack or a backpack on, I can put it on like that on my strap, right? So it's clipped like a beeper right there. And then I can turn my head facing down trail, turn it on, and I've got a good light that's very light. It's got a magnetic base. So if I'm going to work on my car or have to do anything where a magnet helps, the G5, again, don't have an affiliate link, not really promoting it. They were nice enough to send me a couple to check out, and I think it's a cool little light. I like and always carry my Focus Works. I've got 2 of these. I love these lights. I speak very highly of them. They're a little more expensive, but for a sub $30 light, for when I think of EDC, I think of a working guy getting in his house with his keys. This has also got an RGB, and it's got this little dial here. That's the brightness adjuster for the regular light, but it changes the color of this light. So this light runs the whole color spectrum. My computer's not showing it, of RGB colors. If I double click it, it goes into a pulse mode. Triple click it. What? Trying to get it to go into SOS mode where it takes all lights and kind of goes into disco mode. There we go. So that's a little mode if you were walking down the trail and somebody gotten hurt and you were trying to get somebody's attention. That's a flashy little light. But again, these are $24. all aluminum body, rechargeable. I don't know how long it'll last. I've only had it for 2 weeks. I carry it like this. I stick it on my my belt loop like that. Y'all see that? And then I just let it dangle in my pocket like that. So that's how I've been using this clip. And I feel like it gets tweaked quite a bit, but it keeps it from falling in the bottom of my pocket. Hey, Lion Knives. Good morning from Austria. I'm glad to have you here, my friend. It is 10:36 where I am, but I hope you have a great day. You're starting your Wednesday, I assume. Hey, everybody. Just real quick, we don't need a moment of silence, but more of a moment of celebration. Ryan Ellis has entered the chat. I'm going to be without words for just a second because I get overwhelmed. It's good to see you, Ryan. What is up, brother? And you and Shane both have links. Not that y'all want to come in. YouTube Music Portal, what is up? What is up? So yeah, back to the fret. I'm more than impressed with it. It exceeded my expectations. I need it on a darker background. Let me find out one of my forest. Let me get one of my forest. I don't have a dark forest tank here. Early forest. But that is the fret. And I might have drawn it, but Shane made it happen. And Shane gave it, in my opinion, the value that I was looking for. A handmade knife that's, even though I'm not a steel snob, nor are any of you guys that appreciate steel done right, I did invest in Laren's book to try to learn more about the properties of steel and how atoms move and how the molecular structure is affected by heat. And it does make sense when you heat treat it right. Why wouldn't you? Because it does make a difference in the performance of that steel. So you can't beat small batch control over that type of variable. Yeah, Ryan, you are late. They've been ribbing me for over an hour now. I'm now about 45 minutes. Yeah, I jumped in early because Cole usually ends his stream for some reason about 9:50, right at 3-hour mark. So I just go live when he ends. I feel like you guys all have to work in the mornings. Most of y'all aren't unemployed like me. My whole days and night things are flipped. I did record tomorrow's video today. So all I had to do is put it together, stitch 2 parts, because again, for those of you that watched me put these scales on the Benchmade bug out, I will shill for this guy. I have no association, no affiliate link. You can't really see these. This guy reached out to me from Etsy, and he makes scales for the bug out and for the mini Adamas guys, and they're contoured and ribbed. Yeah, don't fuck with me on the color. I'm not crazy about the coyote, and even though the coyote matches the writing on the blade, I had sniper gray AWTs on there, but they were non-textured and they were flat. But this guy is Lou's Customs on Etsy. We'll go to his store in a second. Anyway, I did a video that came out this afternoon. I'm sure none of y'all watched it because scale videos are no fun, but this took me literally 8 minutes. Took one side off, put my pivot tool through, popped that scale off, put it back on. I was done. This is a 49-minute video that has a cut in the middle of it where I finally had to just turn the camera off and walk away and not cry, but not throw the knife across the room. I was pushing my pivot through, and the Mini Adamas has a bigger pivot. So if you buy, I put 2 links in the description, one to the tool that I bought and one to a kit that Justin OCD for EDC 3D prints and sells. And what's good about his kit is he makes them to all Benchmade's pivot sizes. This pivot size is just slightly bigger than the pivot hole, or this pivot hole slightly bigger than the tool. And if the tool fits perfectly, even though I've done it with the Civivi, you can push your pivot. Once you take your screw out, you push your pivot through, pull your lock bar back, push your pivot through once you line up your D, and your washers and your blade don't come out. So you put your scales on your one side, you flip it over, push your lock tool in. Anyway, I dropped the blade and the washers. It didn't work because actually the D goes back this way. The Adamas is a fucked up design knife. After I jacked with it today, I was ready to give it away. So I had to break it down, take all the scales apart, and then to get that bar lock into those liners and to get those two liners into to go together, the two liners to go together, it was a freaking nightmare. It was a jacked up, but it's all going to be on film tomorrow, and the thumbnail tells the story. Let me see if I can show you the thumbnail. And for those of you that like struggle bus videos, I assure you, you will be a fan. Because I mean, I held it together. I didn't lose my shit. Because I could tell when I pushed the pivot tool through, I was about 7 minutes in the video, and the knife came apart, and I had both scales on. I knew it was going to be a long ride. And when you're filming and you've got a little 2-foot space, you're kind of stressed out anyway. It's not natural. All right, let me find that picture and show it to you. Put it somewhere. So here's the thumbnail. I do terrible thumbnails. I don't know if it would make somebody want to watch it, but I'm telling y'all now, it is brutal. And I pictured it at one point when I was sitting there doing it, I was thinking, okay, I'm just going to put it in a Ziploc bag, and I'm taking it to John at Knives and More. My knife. What did I'm in the wrong place. Hold on. I'm just going to take it down there in a bag. I'm a guy who disassembles knives and makes videos. I've got probably 100 videos that I've taken apart almost every knife, and I was about to just give up on it. That's the thumbnail. I think it tells the story. But I took off these AWT scales and put on these Lex Coyote scales. And that's my Benchmade pivot tool. And this end fits like bug outs in your bigger Benchmades. And this one fits like smaller Benchmades. But it didn't go so well. As a matter of fact, it was my worst experience without nearly cutting my finger off, without having a finger cut with a Benchmade. It's worth it. I mean, and as I told myself and told my imaginary audience when I talk to myself, as long as you don't give up, as long as when you take a knife apart, you put a lot of pressure, you've got good bits, you put pressure down on your screws so you don't strip them, and you remember what you're taking apart. And I used to not have this confidence, but there are not that many parts. There's a stop pin, a couple of other random things, and you can. I've never had to take a knife to somebody else to fix it. I've had some that have taken me 3 or 4 hours to get back together. My Microtech ram lock was a fucking nightmare. Putting skiffs in it, but you live and learn. And what I always think is the people are assembling these things in quantities, right? So they go together. You just gotta, and I don't have an engineering brain. You just got to be able to look at it, and bar locks with liners that are cut to where you got to get them in just right so that the bar will ride between them and your standoffs will work. It was just a fucking nightmare. I'm glad Kyle's here, so I don't have to think about it anymore. What's up, Kyle?
How we doing?
I was just singing my sadness song about my scale swap video I shot this afternoon, that after I took the 2 videos and put them together, it's 49 minutes long. You know how many of those minutes I'm in just like a hard struggle.
Most of them.
42, 43.
What the hell was the problem?
Well, I did the bug out. I don't know if I know you haven't seen it, but I did a bug out scale swap. This is a guy from Etsy who reached out to me who does bug out and mini Adamas scales.
Yeah.
Does a really good job. So I did the bug out yesterday, and I've got this Benchmade pivot tool that I just showed. And this is a time when OCD for EDCs would have probably been better. I like this one because it's stainless steel. So can you see that? I'll put it under here. What that is that is a little tool that has 2 dimensions on each side with the flat. See that D side? See where it's flat and it's round everywhere else? That pushes through your Benchmade perfectly. And when you get your one side, put your scales on, the side that has a screw, you take the screw out, and then you insert this hole in the end of the pivot, line up the D with the hole, or when you're putting it back in, you line it up with the pivot, and you just literally run this through the knife. So when this goes through and your pivot falls out, your knife's held together tightly. So you just put the other scale on the other side of your bug out, then you line your pivot up right here and push the pivot in, this falls out, and then you've got your knife back together. This took 8 minutes. When I was putting the Adamas, which is for some reason has the D in a totally different place at an angle, and it's a little bit bigger. So OCD has about 4 sizes of these. Benchmade, I think, does 4 sizes of holes, and you want it to be kind of the same size. The blade and the washers fell out. So once that happened, I had everything together. I had to take it apart. So it's a complete Benchmade disassembly, struggle bus, disassembly, reassembly, have to disassemble again. And then I could never get the liner through the bar lock, the second liner. I finally did. But I had to take the standoffs out, and I had to put the bar locks together, put my little plastic wedge in there, and then put my standoffs in after. I mean, it was a fucking nightmare. I know there are better ways, and whoever watches it, I can't wait to see the comments, because since I'm so not engineering brained, I'm sure people will say, dude, that's not the way you do it. You do it like this. I'm sure I missed something, because I can't imagine, even though Benchmades aren't my favorites to put together, they've never been that hard. It was brutal, but it's a 49-minute video. If y'all want to skip to the middle of it, I think that's where most of the cussing happens. And what's interesting is my hands go from, I'm calm, cool, collected. And by the middle of it, I was like a cracked up cat. I mean, I was goddamn just dropping screws. I mean, if there'd have been a sheetrock wall close to me, it would have had holes in it. Pull this off the screen for now so we can see. Yeah. But guys, I'm going to be doing videos on the fret. I don't want y'all to get tired of it, but I do want you guys to see it do its thing, which I think it does very well. And what I can't stress enough, and it's not going to be important to a lot of people, because I think I'm rare. I'm a back pocket fixed blade carry guy. So regardless of the knife, when I carry this big ass rifle, I've got it set up to carry in my back pocket. That's just where my fixed blades ride. And this knife and this sheath are done amazingly well. So I literally sit it in my back pocket, put the clip in, and I've got the knife ready to go. It's just, I mean, it's perfect. And I'll use my fixed blade more than I use my folder. Kyle, you need to unmute yourself. I can't quit talking and rambling about nothing, and if no one's engaging me in conversation. Prick. No, Kathleen, it's not the tool from OCD for EDC. That's a tool put the link in the description. It's from Etsy. It's a guy, an older gentleman named Pops, and he makes that tool specifically. And he's done very well with it. And then Justin's, I'm going to show it to you because I put a link to his in there too, because after struggling with
Can you hear me?
I can hear you barely. You're very quiet. Now that's the first I've heard of your voice tonight. I thought you were just being quiet.
No, my mic was turned all the way up.
Well, you're still very quiet. You're having audio problems. I love you just the same.
Hang on, let me pop out and come back in.
All right, buddy. So this right here, Kathleen, I'm going to share it right now. This is Justin's kit that he 3D prints, and he's got a couple of extra sizes, which make it would have worked better in my situation. I would not have had the problem that I had because he's got this bigger size, these two sizes, which are for the bigger Benchmades. So his has a couple of extra accessories where this is when you do that mod, you have to pull your lock bar, your bar lock back when you're doing that pivot push through. And this little tool here, these little things are little braces that make that very easy. But these are the same tool. This goes in the pivot end where your screw goes. So you line that up, line the D up, depending on what size pivot you have. And then you just push it through. It works like a charm when it works. And like I was telling you guys earlier, is I did a scale swap on a Civivi Vision FG that I had to do. I had to take the pivot out to get both scales on. So I said, well, it's a round pivot, but let me try that tool. And I use a small end of it. It's got bearings, not washers. But I was able to push it through, put my scale on. I videoed it. It's all on tape. And then luckily push the pivot went right back through, which makes it a lot easier to put it together. Kyle, are you coming back? There he is.
Is that any better?
That's much better. You have a voice. I mean, I didn't even know you were talking to me. I figured you were just sitting there making me. I was trying to remove that. Hold on a second.
Yeah, I was talking. You weren't answering. That's why I was like, can you not hear me at all?
Let me make this go away. Have you noticed? I don't know how they changed StreamYard again. It was actually a good change. They made it where you can now. All right, I've got a bug happening because I did not. I'm trying to remove that from the stage, and instead it's making it big. Remove from stage. There we go. So they've got a new feature, Kyle, where you can drag and drop stuff in your music and in your background box.
Okay.
But they've also made the sharing the link different. They're rolling out these little updates that are, I guess, great, but they're kind of buggy. Can you hear me, Kathleen? Can you hear Kyle now?
What's up, everyone? I missed. Sorry.
Yeah, you were. I didn't even know. I didn't know if you're on the phone and had it muted. I didn't know what you had going on. So that Tiger putt when he turns his back, I thought I remember seeing that. See, that's how your mind can be tricked. I mean,
well, no, it was he made that action, but that was AI generated to make it look longer. He didn't do it before.
So it wasn't as long. I mean, because it looked like he swung and started walking to him, which would be a great way to embarrass yourself if you lipped out.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was basically already in when he started doing that, but they made it look like it was longer to make it look like it was flexing harder or whatever. But yeah, that was just.
AI's gotten so good. I mean, I think these are legit. I've been seeing a lot of videos of him doing, I guess you'd call them golf tricks, where he's like standing there and he's got, maybe it's a golf club or it's a straight thing lined up with golf balls on each side of it. And he's hitting them with his wedge. without touching the pole between it, and then he does a bunch of stuff with one hand. He seems to have very good control of a golf club.
Yeah.
And that one dude that I've shown you guys, that African American guy who started out at Top Golf, the one-handed swinging dude who can drive stuff, who also can chip and putt with that one-handed stroke. I forget what his name is, but we've looked at him before on lives. Something Gilmore. Slappy Gilmore.
Yeah, I think so.
I think that's what
One-handed
it's called.
chipping is not hard.
What's that?
So one-handed chipping and putting is not hard. Full swing's harder.
Because it's almost like he swings it like a tennis racket. And the club, I mean, to me, it looks like a really hard, if you're standing on the baseline, top spin, cross court motion that he's making. But the club doesn't dictate that at all when it hits the ball.
Yeah, it's a windmill motion.
So it is like a normal swinging motion when you look at it from the side?
No, I'm saying he swings it like a windmill, like he's wrapping it around his body.
Is there any advantage to creating a different type of swing? I would guess not. I mean, it would have been done successfully by a lot of people.
What he's doing is way more
just circusy.
Yeah, I mean,
and works
just
harder on your body.
Well, it's not. It's inconsistent. It's just
You can get some impressive shots, but you don't have the.
Yeah, it's just a gimmick.
Yeah, I feel you. I guess it's been a profitable gimmick for him. I don't know if he makes most of his money on social media, but I've seen a lot of posts where he's out at tour events or bigger tournaments with people I recognize. I might not know their name, but they're shooting, video and stuff together.
Yeah, he's just a content creator. That's all he is.
Right.
He's not a player.
No, I know he's not a player, but he's a big enough content creator to have some of that access.
Yeah, he's made a name for himself in that space to where I'm sure he gets promo deals and sponsors for that kind of stuff, but he's not.
He's not competitive. He couldn't.
No, he's not on the golf.
Probably on an amateur circuit.
No. What I was saying earlier when we were talking about your benchmate, I was talking through the whole thing about your whole benchmate. I'm like, yeah, I've seen Justin's tool that he uses for the benchmates, but
Justin's tool, I used to think it was inferior to Pops's tool because Pops's tool, you can get it in aluminum. I got mine in stainless steel. So it comes in this nice little pouch, but it's just a stainless steel, 2 sides. So it fits my Benchmade Bug Out Mini and my Bug Out perfectly, and other Benchmades that have that same pivot hole. I didn't realize there were 4 different pivot size. The Mini Adamas has one that's just a little bit larger than this largest one. See, this is 2 sides. Does the same thing as Justin's, where Justin has 4 pieces that are this size.
If you're doing it all the time, that makes sense. Otherwise, you can use anything.
A Q-tip works.
I've used a drill bit.
Yeah, anything
I've used the bit off of a driver to hold it through their screwdriver. Anything that fits in there.
The wider, the closer you can get to being the diameter of the pivot, the less of a chance you're going to have of slipping your washer. But the other thing that has a nice feature on this is it's not flat. You've got pointy ends, so it makes it easier to reach in the other side and find the edge of that washer and pull it through to get it lined up. But dude, I'll go as far as to say it was my most challenging knife disassembly, assembly, scale swap I've ever tried to attempt, on or off camera. Like I said, there was a point where I was going to put it in a Ziploc bag and take it to Tate, my buddy down at Knives and More, and say, put this together whenever you want to. Call me when it's ready. I'm done fucking with it.
Did you send a link to the other 2 Nimrods?
Yes, Ryan and Shane both have links. They're in the Ryan and Shane group. So there's a group of Ryan and Shane, but I'm going to send one to Shane now.
I didn't know if he was coming on or not because I finished up some of his knives.
I wanted him to. I wanted to show him or tell him about my outside video I'm going to attempt to make tomorrow, helping my mom cut down a lot of Amazon boxes. She's got that new cat. So as you might imagine, good sized boxes start piling up if you're buying cat trees and stuff like that. So I'm going to go cut a lot of cardboard with the fret.
Well, I just finished up a bunch of his knives. today, and I was going
Did
to
you
show them
finish
off.
that purple fret?
I did.
See, I know you're sending that to Terry. I'm actually waiting to that before I really roll it out as the release. I think I'm going to use this other one as a pass round, or I may use yours because it's got the better edge. My edge, I'm going to show it to you. It's really good, but I'll tell you what I can't get away from, dude. The scratches, the slurry scratches by the bevel, above the bevel. I could see if I was only going one way and then I wiped every time. I mean, how often are you wiping your blade? How many passes do you make? Like every second pass, are you wiping it?
No, I'm going till I make a slurry. So that's probably.
But you're not
10
wetting your stones, are you?
Yeah.
Oh, so you are wetting your diamonds.
My resin bonded. Not. I don't have the only. I don't have
Yeah,
any plain.
I'm using my resin bonded dry. I always have.
I don't. Yeah, they work better if you don't.
Well, that's good news to know. I learned that from Jared, as a matter of fact.
They work better and they'll last longer if you use them.
I was told that by Jared that the moisture when you make the wet slurry, that's what made it more likely to scratch.
Well, if you're using on a plain diamond stone,
no, I'm talking about on a bonded stone.
No,
because I thought it was the plain diamond stones that was causing me the problem. Was that set of diamond stones that I had? I just sent it to Shane's personal Instagram too, but I think they're blowing us off.
No, you definitely don't.
The oil
the resin bonded will not create it creates almost like a substrate for, especially when you're using it with like what I'm using, my mixture that I'm using, it almost holds the shavings in that solution, and then when you wipe it, it wipes it all the way off.
So you're putting water, soap.
I use water, soap, and baby oil. So it almost creates like a coagulant where all that the shavings stick in there and pull off when you wipe it.
So you just put it in a spray bottle?
Yeah, that's what this is.
And you just spray your stone with it?
Yeah.
And do you saturate it fully, or do you just kind of mist it down?
No, here, let me show you. I bake it until I get the bubble stop.
I used to not have that problem, and I mean it's got
like this one here. This one is, you can see it's pretty dirty, right?
Right. See, after every time I sharpen, I bartenders friend them and
I put
them.
2 little squirts on there.
That was just 2 squirts. Now you're wiping it, so it sounds like you're taking a lot of the moisture off.
Well, no, what I was saying is that solution also pulls all of that right off the stone as well too.
Oh, so you just did a cleaning pass?
Yeah, I just was wiping it off the stone. But so then when I'm actually sharpening,
you don't have that old slurry, that old buildup.
About that much is all I need.
So that's just a little squirt, and then you're just going to rub that down.
Yep. Just until it's on there like that, and that's more than enough to do 20, 30 passes.
Wow, so that's much less than I would have used. So that's very good to know. I can't believe I just now figured you were wetting those. I thought you were using them dry, because I'm getting ready to flatten mine again. They don't need it, but I just always do it to make them get the bite again.
Yeah.
So you get it to where when you shake it, like when you shake that bottle up, you don't feel anything shaking around in there. I know that's
for the most part. The mixture with the oil gives it a little bit more of a viscous solution to it than just with soap and water. So you still get a little bit of sound to it.
Todd, I was mischaracterizing it then. I was talking about, I didn't mean to necessarily slurry. I was talking about what was causing me trouble was the dried metal that was showing up.
It's the swarf.
Swarf is what you call that?
Yeah.
Like a Smurf, but you put an S, an HW there?
Yeah, it's just the collection of the metal shavings along with whatever liquid you're using.
Because it sounds like if you just went one way with the stone, you would prevent that.
No, so like, okay, if I'm consistently sharpening on angle this direction, then back and forth, what ends up happening is...
I'm talking just going forth. You go
I know,
forth.
but hear me out. What I'm saying is, if I'm going this back and forth this direction, that oil and water is trapped on the stone, and especially if I'm not taking the stone off of it, if I'm keeping it on the bevel, it ends up pushing all of that out to the tip. So the majority of that swarf is out on the tip, and then it gets stuck inside of that solution that you can just wipe right off.
So let's say you've got your squirt bottle. You put what, 3/4 of it full with water or half of it full with water? What do you start with?
I do 50% water, 25% oil, and 25% soap.
So really, you put that much? So 25% dish like gone?
Yeah, just bathroom, whatever foaming bathroom soap I've got in there.
So you're not using dish soap, you're using body soap?
Yeah, just whatever, like
your squeeze soap.
The hand soap, yeah.
Yeah. And then 25% baby oil.
Yep.
And you just get a bottle of that at the pharmacy, right?
Yep.
Hey, Kevin Smith. And Knives, good to see you, brother. Channel member, welcome, welcome. Well, that's good to know. I'm going to do that tomorrow. I'm going to pick up some baby oil. I can't believe I don't have any baby oil. That shows how boring my life has been. I don't even think I have any Astroglide. I don't think that would work, though. That'd probably be too viscous. Paul Mills, my brother from another mother. What's happening, man? Paul's got a cool knife being made. Have you seen that one Donnie's making with that Damascus?
No.
It is a banger.
So,
hey, Paul, check this out. I tried to zoom on it. Let's see if I can zoom. It won't let me zoom anymore since I've come in. Before I came in, it let me zoom. But this is the fret, buddy. It's about the size. It's 6 inches long with 1.5 inches tall. Magna cut blade. About 0.1500. What would you call that on the spine? I think it's 0.1500. And it comes down to like, I don't know, 10 thou. There's Ryan, the hitman. Well, actually, will hit the ground very hard if he keeps talking the shit that he's talking.
Hey, Ryan.
Kyle's putting him in the corner. Don't put Ryan in the corner. Let me take this away.
He said I wouldn't.
I can hear you.
There you go.
So,
am I coming through pretty good?
I hear you great, man. How are you doing? Where are you? Are you over in the chicken house or chicken plant world?
Yeah, I'm up in Russellville, Alabama.
Where's Russellville part of the state? Is it northeast Alabama? Is it close to Scottsdale?
Yeah, it's northwest. It's up next to Muscles.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's over Muscle Shoals, Florence, near Florence and that area.
Yeah, we're getting ready to redo all the refrigeration in this chicken plant here. Hang on, I'm trying to get my chat up. Of course, hotel Wi-Fi is so slow.
Oh, it's brutal.
All right, Javon.
I'll highlight Ron. What'd you say, buddy?
I got a few to show off that.
Let me make you big.
Since Shane's not here, but I'm hoping
Shane's here.
I haven't seen him since I got here.
He's been in the chat. He came in the chat and said something earlier. He said he just got back from the shop. Maybe he was cleaning up and he was going to come on. Maybe that's what he said. You know me, I don't read the chat.
Stevie, that's not what I said. That's how you interpreted it. But if you keep texting me those pictures you were, then I might.
I'm sending Stevie a link just so he can come repeat or dispute anything you fucking say, just in case you're trolling him and to try to get him on here. He won't come.
I'm not sure I know who this new person is in the chat.
Which one? Henry G?
No, I know Henry.
The one that looks like Cheeto Bandito, kind of has a Cheeto.
Maddie, Stevie, Neil.
Where's that?
Stevie, Kyle texts me the same thing every single day.
Stevie's got a link. I don't know where Stevie is, but he's welcome to jump on and just to talk about what kind of inappropriate text is. You know, you can file a restraining order if they get to be a problem, Stevie. I hear you, buddy. Are you on the East Coast? What part of the world are you traveling in this week?
I tried to tell
Maddie,
him.
I'll send you a link, even though I know you're busy too. I always forget to send you guys a link.
We don't need Maddie.
Oh, Maddie's always, if he wants to come on, Maddie's always welcome. Maddie's that guy.
I tried to text Stevie that he sent me a Boker knife, and autocorrect did not like Boker and turned it into poker, and he assumed that meant boner.
So it was just actually his
I would think the
mind
same.
writing in.
Him wanting to see my boner.
Oh, that's how you, that's almost narcissistic on your side. If you put all that on your boner.
Well, it is pretty special.
Well, I wouldn't know, and I love you no less because I wouldn't know. Probably be freaked out if I did. Poker equals boner, no? Yeah, poker if you got her.
I mean, poker and boner technically are the same thing.
I've never called my erection.
What scales am I going to put on my Mannix?
I'm going to show you right now.
What scales do I need to put on my Mannix here?
You need to put. Do you like those jagged ass liners? Because I didn't. I want you to look at the back of my Mannix. See how those titanium scales go right against that back spacer? Look at the back of your Mannix, how you've got jimped liners, which some people like. If you're a hard worker, you might like that with gloves. That might be one of the things you like. But if you want it to feel like a smooth cutter, I would get some. I like the Rock Scale Designs. Linerless is the key. They make a linerless set of scales. Now, I don't think that Crew Carter, if whatever they call it, that my Carter Mannix is done weirdly like the Spyderco was. Was it, Kyle? Isn't that done just like a regular scale? It's just a natural scale.
I think on the Mannix you're okay. But
yeah, I think you are too. I
Unlike
think
the
it's just
PM2,
like the
PM3.
G10.
The difference though, Ryan could definitely carry that for work since he doesn't like sharp knives for work.
Correct, but you could sharpen that knife for him. And I know you're making fun of his cut test, but you could make it sharp for him. Let me show you Rock Scale Designs Mannix knives because they've changed a lot of what they do. They're a USA company. AWT I think does some Mannix too. The Rock Scales were the ones that I picked up, and I've loved them. This is a dragon pattern that feels fantastic. Let me share this.
You can also do Mettenboss.
Mettenboss is now a totally new company. Were you showing us that, Kyle? Because I showed that on the members live.
Yeah, they're under new ownership, and they've got.
So that hex is the pattern I got right there. See that pattern? Let me find the Mannix.
I like that pattern.
Let me find the Mannix. Hold on a second. No, I've actually got the Critter. The Critter's even better. Check that out. Let me find the Mannix. Bodacious, Mannix 2XL, Mannix 2. So there's the Helix. 134 for titanium linerless. Now those are linerless, right? Not compatible with the lightweight Maximate. These scales are made to replace the steel liners and stock G10 scales, which would also be your G10 or micarta. But they've got this pattern, which is called the Critter. They've got this pattern. They used to have a sniper grade. They only have the aluminum blast. So we're going to go to AWT and see what they offer. But the inside of these scales are immaculate.
I wish Parsons did scales other than Sage's because their finishing work is phenomenal.
Whose?
Parsons Blade Works. They have the best Sage scales on the market.
That's a small knife, right? The Sage 5, is that what it's called?
Yeah, it's same size as the Pair 3.
I've got, it is smaller than the Pair 3?
Stevie, I was about to ask that.
No, I've
remember
got
him
the little
saying he was
native.
gonna
That's
make
what I was
some.
thinking about. I'm sorry.
I know he's got.
You got
Yep.
quiet there, Ryan.
I've been hearing that for a year, buddy. I need them. I need them.
Let's go, Met and Boss. Met and Boss is up their game since they moved to, I think, Idaho.
Yeah.
In terms of their pricing structure, let's see if they make Spyderco. I could probably make a little money if I got all these people to remove these pop-ups off their websites. I don't mind they need help. I think it's stupid. I'd never talk to, except if my YouTube channel gets hijacked like I thought it did.
Yeah, man.
Spyderco.
I said that 3 minutes ago.
Whoops. Next to. I like those. They're brass. They'd be heavy as shit.
You don't have to get them with all the middlings on them either. They're just
No.
showing out the patterns.
I wouldn't get brass unless you just want a tank, but you can get it in other finishes. I like.
Yeah, they've got aluminum, copper, brass, zirc, tie.
Are these just go on top of the liners, right? These are just standard where you keep your. Let's see if they show me installed on a knife. But yeah, you go in and you pick your material, you pick your frag or standard, and then you pick your engraved pattern, however you want it. But unless you love those liners, which you might love the liners, I go for the linerless. So that would be a no-go. And see, I would not have my website keep showing that because they've got my email address. I've signed up for all the websites. So let's go to Annex.
I'm not big on frag pattern, but Met and Boss frag is pretty good because it's not super rough and it's also kind of broken up a little bit. That's what these are.
Check these out on Etsy.
That gives me like the Zon vibes.
It is.
The Zon.
Yeah, it's more like that.
I like it though.
Rock Scale Design, Rips Garage Tech.
Really
Let's see
like
what they got. I've got a lot of Rips.
That's Met and Boss.
Yeah, these
this
are
is
the
Rips. Oh, I'm sorry. You're looking at Real Scales. I'm sorry.
Yeah, these are the Zirc Met and Boss frag scales.
I like that diamond pattern. Fingerprint. Fluted. These are Rips Garage Tech Mannix. Plain is a no-go. I had the plain. They're just way too slick. I like that. Pyro grip. It does look a little aggressive, but and then Ripple, I guess, is the last choice, which is would probably give me a seizure. But I've
Did you know Met and Boss had a new owner?
Yeah, they've got a new owner and moved clear across the country.
I freaking hate it here.
When did this happen?
2 years ago, a year ago. And here's
What did they do
original.
that for? They get a new owner?
Yeah, so another company bought them out. Met and Boss was purchased. So Original Goat makes some pretty cool scales. Probably the most, and stupid pop-up, probably the most economical. But I would have to reach out to Kathy directly and see what their lead time was. Because I waited for a set of 80-15 scales for 10 months.
Their business model is stupid as shit.
It changed. I mean, when I talked to them at Blade, it's
No,
only
they're still 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah, that's so I would, if it was me, I'm gonna go right back to Google, but if it was me, I would say Rock Scale Designs, the pattern you like. Let's go AWT. Go Applied Weapons Tech.
Thank God Shane's back. At least someone who's got some sense.
Have him come in.
Shane, get on here so I can show your knives off.
Can you see that? Can you see that guy right there? Those are
I
lightweight.
was about to say these are these. Yeah.
You don't want the lightweights. The AWTs, I love them. They make great scales. I've got them on my all right, this is the linerless Cerakote aluminum for $84. I've got, let me show you that in a pair too. I've got that blue, this color right here, in a pair too that I'll grab it in just a second. But these are, I think, a good amount of milling. Let's see. I think that's the linerless set. I think they've got cast iron. That's XL. Manix 2 linerless anodized. So these are going to be. What's the difference in anodized and Cerakote?
Isn't Cerakote actually like sprayed on?
It's a sprayed on finish.
Coating?
It's a finish. It's anodized when you touch it to electrodes and put it in fluid. But I think both of these
anodized is more of a like a corrosion type thing. Or maybe it's not. Maybe corrosion is not the word I'm trying to think of. But
yeah, they've got a type 3 hard coat anodized color and a type 2 anodized color. And it tells you the differences. But what I didn't know is I thought they put that on aluminum. I don't know if these are titanium. These almost feel like aluminum, the ones in my hands. Compared to stock, the result is a total assembled weight. Yeah, it makes it when you get these skinny scales without the liners, your Manix 2 will be lighter with titanium or aluminum scales. Titanium replacement hardware.
Stevie's own one.
Stevie's always got it going on.
He's on one. I love it.
You wouldn't put Cerakote on titanium, would you? I'm thinking these have to be aluminum.
I don't know.
Kyle, can you hear me or you just ignore me or did you walk away?
I know you can't.
Yeah, I thought they always
Kyle quit.
Yeah, you can Cerakote titanium.
Do you know if AWTs, why is it not telling me?
Aluminum.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
AWT's aluminum.
So these right here, Ryan, I love these. I did Shane's Manix, and what it messed it up for Shane is Shane has a trouble with the compression lock anyway, so he's got to get the compression made easy. And this is the liner delete. So on the Manix, it takes both liners, but on a compression lock knife, it just takes the show side liner and deletes it. So if you look at this, the scale, this makes the knife altogether lighter, but one scale slightly thicker than the other because the show side liner's gone. Well, by it being thinner, it even gives Shane less of a place with his neuropathy to grab on and use that compression lock. But these scales, these aluminum scales for $90 are nice. And they do drop the weight slightly from your standard. Now, if you go with the Metin Boss or the Rock scale, they'll be titanium.
Yeah, for the same price point, I'd rather have the tie personally.
Maddie, I don't know the history, but I'm going to Google it real quick. So
Maddie's cruising.
Is he a smart ass? Is he trolling me?
He's about to get a little band hammer.
Is it
little Richard?
I didn't know Metin Boss had a new owner.
I didn't either till Kyle showed it.
I hate you all.
When did that happen?
Metin Boss is changing hands. It looks like 2024. I'm reading an article on Reddit, so don't trust this until I tell you what it says. A heartfelt thank you to a new chapter in Metin Boss. 2 minutes ago, it has been my absolute passion. So today I stepped down as founder CEO after doing 60 hours per week. Sam is smart, capable, and forward thinking. Let's see who's, I don't know who he's. I know they moved across the country. So let me see what date this was posted. This date was posted 4 months ago. Where the guy made the post saying that he was stepping down.
Yeah, I am.
Is Shane in here? Did I just hear him? I'm up back here looking at it.
Shane, did you know that Metin Boss?
Shut up, Ryan.
Kyle, you remember that conversation we had about my budget?
I didn't want to know.
I don't want to talk about it anymore.
I thought you were going to order this Friday.
They did get a new owner. According to the Reddit post, a guy named Sam.
I got paid today. So, you guys want to hear what's coming?
No, because we haven't gone over it.
But Shane, I think he's telling you to order it. He made.
It had to happen. Or, I mean, no steel, no knives.
Or did it yet?
Yeah. Well, I could have made a couple of people wait longer than I was comfortable with.
So this is the change.
I would have felt like I was losing the customer had I made them wait any longer. Are we still talking about Met and Boss?
Well, Maddie's either trolling me or he asked who the new owner was.
Fucking Christ. Okay, John, he's trolling you. He's been doing it for 30 minutes.
Well, I'm a trollable person. Sam's leadership. I know Maddie's got a set of Met and Boss scale, so I thought maybe he was.
All right, so
I don't give a fuck.
This is what I ordered, Kyle, and I want to let you to guess at what it cost. I had to buy 2 sticks of Crewware to fulfill the Northern Knives order.
How long and what thickness?
3 feet, 1/8. I wanted thinner. Can't find it thinner. Had to go with 1/8, so I'm gonna have to grind it thinner. And I had to order
1.5 inches.
Yeah.
Okay.
So inch would have been great. It's on there, but it's always out of stock. Am I froze?
You're frozen, but your voice sounds good. It's kind of funny watching you talk. You look like a puppet, or the guy that was a
Then I got to thinking, if John sells frets, I don't have steel to make frets, so I ordered a stick of it to make John's frets.
How much?
3/32, 1.5 inches, 3 feet.
Okay.
How many blades did you get?
Hang on, John. Let me finish.
Okay, go ahead.
And then I ordered another stick to do Dylan Mallory's knives.
Okay.
And then I ordered a stick of S90V to do Cheetos knives.
Okay.
And then I ordered another 4 feet of 14C to make more kitchen knives because they sold out.
Is that it?
He hadn't talked about the scales yet because I know he's been looking at handles.
That's part of it. Hey, listen, I did not buy.
I quit.
I did not buy any scale material.
I said that as a joke. No,
I literally spent about $30 on. I needed liners.
You're just right around 9 bills, Shane.
I mean, I can eat bologna, dude.
No, I'm saying you're right around 900 for that order.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I can eat bologna if I have to. Louis just bought a knife, so I can eat thick cut bologna.
Hey,
that had to happen, though, dude.
Chase your passion. We need so nice. You need to send me a thug when you get ready.
Technically, I could have made Dylan and Cheeto wait. And
I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying you could have waited. Never mind. We'll
talk it out.
About it later. No, it's not public consumption.
Listen, I've already got it figured out. When I collect on the kitchen knives and the knife Louis just bought, I will have almost recouped all that money, and I'll put it back in my account, and I won't have to touch my account again for the rest of the month.
And don't you have frets that you have already cut out?
I have frets that are
that don't come with that. What you just
bought. 5
bought.
frets in existence right now.
That could be that could be.
One of them I want to rescale because I didn't like the scale material, so Kyle's sending it back to me. You have one. Kyle's got one on his way to you. I've got one at the shop.
And Kyle's got one going to Terry that I think we ought to send to Stasa and whoever else we decide this worthy. Kyle, I posted it in the YouTube.
Kyle, you remember me telling you that I wasn't doing any more scales without liners, and I had no liner material. So, I only spent like $38, and I got a bunch of liner materials in different colors. It's all good, dude.
I think what Kyle is implying in his silence is a phone call So he could have
This all just happened while y'all were asking where I was at. I was on 5 different websites cashing out my cart. So it was all I mean, I knew what I needed. I had time to think about it. I had it all in carts where I could find it. If New Jersey Steel Bearing had in stock all the steel I needed, I could have saved $200 off that order. But they just don't have anything.
I'm waiting for a small check to hit because I've got to get stickers. I've got like 3 stickers left. This channel costs me in postage and stickers, God knows what.
I don't even want to. Kyle and I haven't even approached logistics yet.
No, well, and y'all feel free to bring me in on that conversation because I used to do a lot of that.
Will. When the fret starts selling, you will certainly.
Well, no, we need to have a conversation. We need to schedule a private WebEx sometime tomorrow to get the go-to-market plan in terms of how we're going to lead it out, how I'm going to, because I'm ready to make the video when that knife comes back.
Now, let me tell y'all something. The other knives I'm not that concerned about. Y'all don't buy frets and Cheetos knives that's yet named, I will come to your house and eat your bologna.
No, hey, those are on us. Those designs aren't us. Because like I said, you made the fret nothing but better, and you made it an awesome knife. So that's I might have designed a dog, but it suits me.
I literally sat down and looked at what I have. Like when Louis bought that knife tonight, the kitchen knives I have to collect on and all that stuff, I will recoup every penny of that. So I'll be fine.
To me, it's amazing.
Unless, I die or all these customers die or something horrible happens.
It's amazing how popular kitchen knives are. Or it's really so sad that I'm so undomesticated that I don't use kitchen knives because A to Z's been trying to get me to review. He's got 3 of Chef Kalari's knives, Super Steel Steve's. He's got some Leon Moss Chef knives and several other really, he'll go nuts on kitchen knives.
Let me ask y'all an ethical question.
What do you need? What do you need a knife for Mexican pizza?
I've asked.
I don't. That's what I'm saying. I'm not the cooker guy. I'm not prepared. Now, when I was married and I had a kid, I'd cook all the time.
Y'all see the edge I put on my very first knife I ever made? I sharpened this thing last night just out of boredom. It's sharp as hell, too. Anyway, my question is, you guys know my feelings for Steve Kalari. I love Steve. Does that make it okay for me to want to be better than him?
No.
It doesn't make it okay?
No, it doesn't make it wrong. I mean, it makes it perfectly okay.
I'm not saying I ever will be.
Matty, you use the Aurelia.
You want to take your people that you've looked up to before you were doing what you're doing, and you want to surpass them. That's called ambition, right? Look at this edge.
If you aren't trying to be the best, then you aren't trying.
Don't look at the scratches.
John, you danced around that conversation. Kyle puts tape. Kyle tapes the blade.
I know he takes the blade. I bought the tape.
All but that last little part, he tapes it so he don't get scratches. That's
right. And I bought the tape that he talked about, but that's a pain in the ass. And when I used to wet my stones, I never had the problem. This is a new problem.
You either go through the pain in the ass or you have scratches because it will do it with it wet too. Because I've done it. I
did it on my black. That's why I quit doing them wet because that's how I did my Evo. But I think it's because I was never wiping the sludge or whatever you call it off.
Tape the blade.
You know what a pain in the ass it is to tape that bevel?
Just do it. If you don't even have to use that Captain tape. If you just get that flexible blue painter's tape that bends really
easy. You're talking about bringing it right up to the top of the bevel.
Listen to me.
I'm listening to you.
You buy that blue flexible painter's tape.
I've got a bunch of it.
Listen to me. Stop and lay it right on the edge and just fold it over it where you can't see the edge at all. Those stones will cut through that tape in 3 or 4 passes. However, the slurry won't cut through them to scratch the blade. It works.
That's a good technique.
It's not as professional as what Kyle's doing. It's not as foolproof as what Kyle does, but it works. Just lay it on there and pinch it down.
If only we had a sharpener here to ask.
Huh?
So if only we had a sharpener here to ask.
No, he did ask you, and he's not willing to do what you do.
I'm willing to do.
This is
I'm
the
look-
half-ass way of doing it,
Damn
and
it.
he'll accomplish the same thing.
I'm looking
Kathleen,
to do
no.
exactly what he's doing with his water, oil, and soap. That's something I wasn't doing.
None of that's going to help you without the tape.
The captain's tape, I put it on, and the captain's tape, the stones don't go through.
Right.
So if I get it,
the stone will go through the masking tape, but the slurry won't. It's the slurry that is scratching your blade up.
Also,
the dust.
Let me clarify this. When your stone comes off,
see you, bud.
My stone comes off
when your stone comes off of the bevel. Okay, when you're sharpening.
Right.
So as you're going like this, if that stone comes up off of the bevel, that's going to go up and ride the blade. You may not feel it because it's subtle. That's what creates scratches more than the slurry or more than the swarf.
So if I'm not keeping my stone perpendicular to my blade,
keeping it flat on the bevel.
I think how would I be messing that up if I've got it laying on there and I'm not putting weight on it?
3.
Because let me grab a blade. I'll show you.
Absolutely.
Loud ass bro hug.
Let me crank up the volume for you. Double bro hug.
I don't know. I haven't tried that.
Thank you, Stevie. That was a double bro hug.
All right. So here's your explanation.
Shane, how many McDoubles can you put away in 5 minutes?
I'm going to guess.
Piss Kyle off night.
I'm going to guess 8.
8 McDoubles in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
8.
I think.
Were you bullied by a competitive eater, Ryan? You seem to be just. You seem to be wanting to just competitively eat.
I ate McDoubles in 4 bites.
I can tell that's where your question is going, because I'm about ready to go toe to toe with you on some Mexican pizzas.
Let's try it.
How many Mexican pizzas have you ever eaten Mexican pizza?
I
don't know.
There's something very unusual
I
going on.
don't eat Taco Bell all that much, so I really don't know.
Wouldn't expect. We're making pizza, Mexican pizza. It's like pizza, but it's different, with a crispier double tortilla crust, ground beef, and 2 kinds of cheese. More fresh ingredients. And it's made for 1 person. Mexican pizza. Maybe you wouldn't expect it from an ordinary fast.
I'm thinking at 20.
Where'd Kyle go?
He's in disgust right now.
20 Mexican pizzas.
I think I could. Now, if
John,
you can't eat them,
Ryan, can you imagine the phone
I couldn't at one
You couldn't
time.
pick them up.
I couldn't at one time, no. But I'm telling you, they're so delicious. I don't know how you would eat them quickly though, because you can't eat them. They've got quarters, so they do come apart in quarters. But if you crunch into it, like you took a bite of it, it would fold like a broken B-52, and you'd have taco meat all over you.
All right, question. Can you hear me?
I hear you perfectly. I see your A1 in there, your AWB in there too.
Kyle, please don't call me and cuss me tonight. Let's wait till at least tomorrow.
I would like to know if you ask me a question. Shut up, Ryan. If you ask me a question, do you want me to finish, or do you want to interrupt me and go off topic, and I'll come back in 20 minutes? Because otherwise, I'm not going to bother giving you a effing answer if you don't let me finish.
Are you making fun of my fucking mental disability? I'm kidding, dude.
Oh shit! Now we've done it. You ran off the sharpener. Now you're never gonna know how to sharpen your knife.
He'll come back. I do want to know, and I will be quiet. It's just when I feel like y'all are like razzing on me, or the
I
cat
don't know why the Batman thing was so perfect, but it was. That was funny.
It was still not as good as the people jumping on the Jack Wolf dick. That was the most perfect time drop that Stevie did the first time I ever saw the car going through the garage.
I got a damn copyright strike for that shit. the Stevie
Bullshit.
Jackwolf clip because it was playing Thunderstruck in the background.
Oh, but you just had to clip it out and you got your copyright strike lifted, right? Because if you got an actual strike, that means somebody. It's different. Getting a copyright, I get them on every live that I share stuff. But if you get a real strike, that's somebody like Ben coming to your page and striking it.
Kyle, please come back.
Come back. I'm not saying another word, Kyle, till I learn how to keep it from fucking up my life.
Kyle, he was doing it to me too. I couldn't get that word in
into this phone call later.
Huh?
And it's my fucking show, and I'm an
Shay, I
old,
wanna hear the
ornery
phone
man.
Record the phone call? Is that what you're saying?
Three-way
He's gonna
me in on it. Yes.
I'm 54 damn years old. And I can't order steel without fear of what Kyle's going to say. I'm just kidding. I
I'm
love
58
Kyle.
and he's shut me down. I could be his dad.
He's mad.
Maybe, I hope
Says
your
Kyle's
mom's not,
gone.
I hope your mom's not Julie Graham.
Oh, how the turntables.
That was stupid to ever say. I can't believe I said that on live.
Oh, that's how you can get your point across. Just stop talking and make little signs. That's the only way you're going to talk over John. You just got to make little signs.
Watch this. I'm on mute.
Wasn't you two that had that video where they just had the cards they kept showing?
I'm muting myself right now.
Go, Kyle.
All right. So here's your freaking answer. If you want to sharpen your knife without
What's
getting...
the name of Matt Dawson's new owner?
God damn it, Ryan Ash.
Shut up, Ryan. If you want to get your knife sharpened without scratches, what you're doing is you're lifting the stone off of the bevel slightly. So when you go forward, part of the stone is actually going above the bevel and leaving those little scratches. That's not from the swerve. There's a lot of times I don't even tape knives and I'll never get scratches. It's solely for the fact that you are going up above it. Because if
Do
you're
that
using
one more time, because that doesn't make sense to me. Now I'm muting again. I don't understand how you would ever do that unless you had like Parkinson's.
Because you're not feeling it because it's so slight. So if you're here on the stone, okay?
Yeah.
And you're going all the way out to here, that motion is going up, right? It's going up towards the front of the knife. You can lift slightly, and when you lift slightly, part of the stone was actually right on top of the bevel on the actual surface of the blade. And that'll give it the little micro scratches.
Okay, so if that was happening, what's the solution? Because
A, tape it, or B, learn to keep it flat.
if you can't feel it,
hello, Ryan.
How do you learn to keep it flat? Just by looking at it, getting better, and taping it?
Practicing and taping, yeah. But yes, Kathleen, that's one option.
Well,
But
everybody in the chat, please type, just fucking tape it, John.
I will tape it. I mean, I want to get better. And what I'm saying is, I never had this problem on my Bliss. And it could be that it kept me from throwing my stone up, but I'm very particular about
John, the Blitz moved, flat. The Blitz arm didn't move the same direction. That whole entire thing moved, right?
Right. The clamps.
This is independent. It goes any direction you want without the assistance of this moving.
So it probably is my motion.
That's what I've been saying.
So
when you're going forward, you're actually lifting up slightly, and you probably are getting more scratches towards the front half of the blade than you are the back half of the blade.
Nope, just the opposite. Right in the middle on one place, and then.
Okay. Then,
look at this edge, dude.
And what it's doing, John. So what it's doing is when you get out here to the tip, right? You want to go. You keep it on flat and go straight back. You're probably going out to here, stopping, dropping it back down, and then trying to pull it across. Never let the stone come off of the bevel.
How would I not feel that, Kyle? You make it sound like that happens without me feeling it, and those things are so touchy.
I don't know how to sign language. Just tape it, because that's all we need to know.
Look at that bevel.
It's pretty.
Yeah, like Kevin said, you're going too fast. You're not feeling it because it's happening so quickly. To take this motion here and then back, that's not much time. You're not going to feel that slight motion of going off there until you get used to it.
Is there any advantage to cutting that, even make it longer and just going one way? Like doing every motion the same from heel to tip, then lift it all the way off, bring it back to the heel, lay it flat, and go heel to tip.
If you want to be 4 times longer doing it.
So that's the only advantage, is it takes more time. You're not, it seems like but like you said, you would create the stuff.
Yeah, it's you're making it more difficult than it needs to be.
I need to tape it.
Yeah, no shit.
But it sucks to me that I've got a flawed technique when it feels, even though I see what you're saying about the arm being adjustable, which means it's going higher or lower. It's not, it's moving on a 360-degree axis, just like the Blitz did.
Right. But what I'm saying is this motion is different. So your arm is actually moving up. So as you're going towards the tip, your arm actually goes up. Well, when you're doing that, you're lifting it off of that bevel slightly.
See, I thought it was just the opposite, that my arm was going lower when I went to the tip, because you told me to let it follow it around the tip, where I used to do that.
Okay. If I'm holding this, this is completely flat. This is completely straight across. Okay. So here, if I can zero this out.
You know what this is?
All right, there. Can you see that, John? That's
Yep.
0 degrees, right?
Right.
If I go up this way toward the tip, what happens?
It's changed.
To what?
I can't read that.
4 degrees.
So, but
Go
you're not
down
on
the
the
heel.
blade. You're not on the blade. If you're on the blade, is it still going to change that much if you're feeling it? I mean, you're up in the air.
My point, yeah, but my point is, so if it's doing it like this, right, and then I'm going up towards it, it's going to increase that. It's a good look, Shane. Going up, it's going to increase that. But all you have to do is just keep it flat in there, and as you go forward, it's going to stay flat.
By letting, and I'm asking this, by letting the weight of the stone hold it to the blade, right? Isn't it the way you do it? Because that's how
I actually use pressure, so
you're pushing down,
correct. And I'm not going to come off of that blade.
like a pound of pressure, like just a little bit.
I don't know how to quantify that, but probably a couple pounds, maybe 2 pounds, 3 pounds.
Shane, that makes perfect sense. I mean, I tape the top of my spine with that stuff every time, and I've got my clamps. Zach stuff gifted a membership. Somebody can, who got it?
All right. You guys can talk about what you want. I'm done talking about sharpening.
Dude, you're our sharpening expert. You're not supposed to
No,
get
don't act like it's the sharpening talk that's aggravating.
intimidated by man
The
hugs.
fact that all he needs to know is to just tape it.
I want to get better at it. I want to be. 'Cause
I
like
understand
said,
that.
for
You're
me,
not
I was frustrated about sharpening. I was frustrated about trying to inch or something and then not being allowed to.
right.
And Maddie's stupid ass.
And Matt and Boss.
Yeah. Outside of that, I'm great.
what Kyle's saying is he was made to feel.
Nah.
See, if I didn't love Kyle, I wouldn't do this because it would seem like I was being mean.
You can call me Nannerpuss.
It's all in love.
I'm not mad.
No, I know you're not. You just get frustrated with stupid people. I saw something today that
If I was mad, you'd know I was mad.
there was something interesting. I almost posted, but I thought that I'd posted too many things that make me seem like an old geezer. One was a picture of a floorboard of a 5-speed, which I learned to drive on, that had the gas pedal, the brake, the clutch, and then it had the emergency brake over in the left. And it says you want to be able to cripple an entire generation. Bring these back. But the one that
I got one worse for you than that. My very first vehicle was a 57 Chevrolet pickup truck that had a dimmer switch, an
with your
emergency
foot,
brake. Let me finish, goddammit. A dimmer switch, yes, with your
Welcome
foot,
to my world.
an emergency brake pedal, a clutch pedal, a brake pedal, a gas pedal, and a starter pedal. So to take off on a hill, you had to put the toes of your left foot and push the clutch in, while at the same time, the heel of your left foot had to grab the brake and hold it in place while you released the emergency brake. And then with the heel of your right foot, you had to pat the gas, while with the toe of your right foot hit the starter pedal, just to get it to start up and take off on the hill.
But you only started it once, right? Or do you have to start it every time?
No, you didn't start it every time, but still.
That is crazy.
5 pedals and a headlight dimmer, all right there on the floor. I'm sorry, 4 pedals. No? Yeah, 5 pedals and a dimmer switch.
Have any of y'all been in a Tesla? I've never even sat in one. I wonder if are they set up to where if you knew how to drive a regular car, it's easy. Everything's in the same place.
Yeah, it is a regular car.
Well,
what was that, Shane?
So it's kind of like driving a
It's just like a regular car.
Yeah, it is a regular car. Just
electric.
Different.
I saw this.
The good thing about Tesla is they actually have car doors.
True. I've heard that one that's that's kind of a utility vehicle. I don't know if it's the Model 3. That its only thing is if you get rear-ended in that, they didn't design it to where it wouldn't cost you an arm and a leg because you got to get the rear door and both quarter panels.
$30,000
for that rear end at like what, 15 miles per hour, something crazy like that.
It's stupid. But Congress actually had a meeting about this because all late model SUVs, there for a while, if you damaged the rear trunk lid, the car was totaled. Anything you hit on a Tesla, watch the YouTube videos on it. A mirror fender bender is a $30,000 repair. It's all stupid expensive because they don't allow aftermarket. You have to go to them.
Kind of like the Apple of the car world.
Yeah.
I've heard all kinds of horror stories. What was that, Ron?
I agree, Kathleen. Let me tell you why I agree. Because the most striking part of an automobile to me, what makes the biggest difference in the way it looks, is the shape of the grille. If I owned a Tesla, I would literally go down to trim it up and have a vinyl sticker of a cool grill stuck to the front of that. I cannot stand the fact that there's no opening on the front. Think about it. The Bentley. What's cool about the Bentley and the Chrysler 300? That big open mouth grill. What makes the BMW a BMW? Those twin open mouth grills. That's why.
Is that our generation? I don't think the younger kids look at the stylistic.
The younger kids can't change. Who gives a fuck what they think?
Well, what the other thing that I saw today that I thought was funny is I guess we learned that having access to information, when we talked about people that were stupid, we were always because they didn't have access to information. Now that we've had the internet for so long, that's been proven false. That people are just as ignorant with access to ignorant. They're more ignorant with access to information.
Right, because they don't concern themselves with learning anything because they can find out the information is in their phone. They don't have to retain any knowledge. It's all in their hand.
Well, I think the quote was about how the media or anybody can take advantage. I mean, if we don't,
if you had typed "I can't breathe" about 8 times, that would have been twice as funny.
You can absolutely talk. Blink if you're in distress, Ron. Blink twice. Okay, you can talk anytime, dude. I apologize. I'm just neurotypical, and Tuesday nights I'm usually always jacked up because I sleep a little bit.
Are you on mushrooms tonight?
No, I'm not on anything tonight. That could be the problem.
That's probably what it is.
It really could be. I'm drinking.
Slow down.
Now I'm still trying to figure out if I like this stuff because it's a lot cheaper than energy drinks. Have you ever tried one of these powdered energy B12 vitamin drinks?
I just drink water.
That's good. The best thing you can have. Universal solvent.
I have a glass of sweet tea with a meal, but I drink about 1.5 gallons of water a day.
Take care of
you're right. I think it's funny. I've seen some people customize the Cybertruck that made it look cool, but then I realized that they had to spend months of time and tens of thousands of dollars to make it look cool. when Ryan Ellis's truck just looked cool when he drove it off the.
Dude, that car is
It's going to need a transmission every year, but it looked cool when he drove it off the dealership lot.
Well, I mean, it's I think it's as high tech as any truck or car I've sat in.
Yeah,
I mean, that thing was.
I just high tech as the Tesla. It just.
Have y'all ever seen a car that will change paint color?
Yeah,
it's kind of like a spy versus spy thing.
They've been dabbling with that for a while. But
cloaking is next.
You imagine what that's going to cost when you have a fender bender?
Yeah, I could tell y'all something.
Does anyone want to see knives?
Yeah, show us knives.
Is this a knife channel?
I was going to say, and I'm going to stop, then I'm going to mute myself.
No, I got good news. I got all the kitchen knives ground tonight. They're all effing beautiful. I got to get handles on them. So that one I ruined was the only one I ruined. So that's good.
So that's 1 out of 7?
1 out of 6.
That's not bad.
No. And it was just a mechanical mistake. I let my grinder wasn't bolted down, which it is now, and it had slid back. So as I was pushing it, it had gotten like 1 inch away from my work stand, and the whole jig dove off into that crack. That's how I did it. But now that can't happen anymore. Ryan, did you watch my live stream? Did you figure out what my new work press is made out of?
No.
It's made out of a breaker box. We literally took the guts out of a breaker box. You want to talk about Alabama white trash? And we we put big lag bolts through the 6x6 posts on the table and bolted a breaker box to the table, and my piece of marble sits on top of the breaker box.
And what sits on the marble?
Sweet, man.
The marble's what my jig glides back and forth on.
But it works.
I was going to order a new jig because mine's getting pretty janky, but I got to ask Kyle's permission first.
I'll tell you guys, you're doing something very, very cool, and you're doing it well.
And it wouldn't exist without Kyle. That's astonishing.
Right. And that's why I think, y'all are kind of like partners, And
he challenged me to get together an inventory, like a complete supply list of everything I have on hand. I didn't have anything on hand. So now I do. So now I can give him his list.
Shane.
Now you're just coping.
And I didn't spend 9, Kyle. You were a little, you overestimated. I spent about 7.
You owe me a piece of drywall.
All right. Which is not a whole lot of money to some people, but that's my entire eating budget for the month. So,
well, it's like
blink of Shane can get a new chick.
It's like a gambler, except you're not gambling because you're putting your skill on it.
Yeah, and I know I have enough stuff at the shop right now that's heat treated ground. I got to put handles on. All I got to do is deliver those things. I can replace my money. I'll be okay. There's no money to be made off of what I've got made right now. All that is just making up for what I spent. But that's the way business is. You have to spend money and hope that the next thing that you do, you get a little profit off it. You spend some of that money buying materials for the next thing. Hopefully you get a little profit off of that.
And as scary as it is, that's truth. That's real. The people who, you do have to, you can't always wait for things
I'd love to see
be perfect.
Ryan's checkbook at what he spends before any money ever actually goes back in the bank. Probably absurd, isn't it?
I don't pay attention to it. I don't pay attention to it.
Well, Ryan probably knows what his burn rate is. He probably looks at it as a basic burn rate, right?
Yeah, if you need a good accountant and bookkeeper, Kyle's your man.
First of all, you act like I'm a slave owner and cracking the whip on you.
I'm joking, Kyle.
No, I meant in general, but like,
right.
Someone has to, because we got to get a business plan and get everything underway.
Hey, Kyle, you're doing it exactly
success.
right. Shane told me after Blade Show that I should have been harder on him when I told him I thought the handle should be thinner, where I try to kind of sugarcoat things. You try to be more direct. There's no need to waste oxygen, right? He appreciates that.
I only absorb direct. Now, I'm going to joke and poke at Kyle about it, but that's the only way I'm going to get it in my head.
But are you willing to comply? That's the big question. So if he suggests something, I'm just throwing this out there because I'm never in y'all's conversations, but if he gives you something that he thinks you ought to do to make it more lean or more, do you continue to go with what's comfortable, or do you try to switch into that mode? And I know different things are different.
Matty, I'll do a video on the flex on them. I haven't really put them in anything and see how well they flex, but they're a 1/16 of an inch thick, and they're ground to about 2 to 3 thousandths at the edge. They're very thin, very slicey, and very pretty. So, but it being 14C, I don't know how flexible 14C is or how flexible it should be. Maybe I took a lot of the flex out by heat treating it to 64 HRC. I don't know.
To answer,
I would rather have it
You
hard.
wanted a lot of flex in kitchen knives.
I don't. I don't want a lot of flex in anything. I want it as hard as it can be.
So what? Like
That's why
that's
I don't.
what I would think that. Like when he's talking about flex, is he talking about like bending them this way?
I think they are. I think some of your bigger
I know
chef
it
knives.
can be.
I know for a fact they're going to have some bit because when I grind one side of it, when I grind one side of a kitchen knife and I flip it over to grind the other, there's a little bit of a gap because of what I just ground off. And as I'm swiping it across the jig, I can see it flexing. So I know they have some flex. Now, will you be able to bend it as much as a cheap kitchen knife that's made out of tin? Probably not.
yeah, that's
Like Maddie and
Fillet knives.
Why do you need flex?
in a fillet knife?
In a fillet knife, I understand it because fish aren't flat. But in a kitchen knife, I don't. I'm not a chef though, so there may be something I don't know.
depends on the substrate you're cutting through. Like, I mean, if you're
I've never thought about it before. That's why I'm kind of.
I'm so dumb to it. I mean, I know nothing about kitchen knives.
I'm eventually going to make an entire set. I'm eventually going to make an entire set, and I think an entire set does need to include a cleaver in case you're that into cooking and butchering. Because I wouldn't recommend using my knife to chop.
Thank you, Terry. I never want to dox people, and I always but I need to call you 1931 Leatherworks when I'm making videos about your product because that's your brand.
I wouldn't recommend hitting bone hard with one of my knives.
So, back to your question, Javon.
Yeah, like chopping into a beef bone or a rib bone. That's not what they're made to do. These are just made to slice tomatoes thinly and slice meat cleanly. They're not hard use.
What were you saying, Kyle?
I was just going to say back to your question about whether or not how that
you
works.
got me, Stevie.
It typically depends on how long the process has been going, but we work it out. But sometimes I gotta say things multiple times because he does things because he's used to doing it a certain way. But sometimes I may see a way that could be better, so we work it out and talk about it.
Yeah, and it has worked. And it has worked out. I mean, there's already been stuff that I've changed. You know, I was bad addicted to scale material. I'd be up in the middle of the night like Javon, wake up in the morning, realize I'd spent $180 on scale material that I didn't really need yet. You know, not that I wouldn't need it eventually, and I used all that, but I didn't need it at that moment, and I didn't need to put myself in a financial bind to have a drawer full of scale material that I didn't even have knives to put on. Everything I've bought now, I have
There's a sign of something that's coming back to you.
There are knives ordered that material is going on. But I didn't have any liners, so I did have to order some liners.
Well, speaking of which, here's some beautiful scale material. This is the fret with the kind of rosewood and yellow.
Oh, yeah. Because that was so ugly.
Oh, wow. And those are the ones you've been working on, right? That you've been sanding on?
Yeah.
I was going to grind those off, John, because I couldn't get them to pop.
I was watching him do it, and I was going to ask Kyle about what grits he uses, because I could almost sit and do that on mine if it makes all of them better. Not that it needs to be, but I mean, I watched him do it last night or Friday night.
Even the ones that I've shown that I think look great would still look better if
is that the same material? I know it's a Thug, but is that the same wood?
Here's that one that for your buddy that you said was.
Yeah, my Navy buddy. And those were knives that I wasn't even willing to sell. But these two guys I was in the military with that I spent all my time with have been wanting a knife for months. So they're getting those.
I love that.
I like that a whole lot.
I love that. That just makes me warm.
I bought another block of that. I bought a block that's black like that with silver in it, and I bought
Is
a
that one
block
sold?
that's blue with silver in it. That's a touchy subject.
We've got to
have-
talk because
We have customers. We don't know who wants which knife, but I really feel like Javon needs to hang on to that one to pass around and show. But there's more of that. There's more of that scale material coming. He made me some more.
I
and
want
think
when
we're
Stassi to get it have Kyle's edge on it. I want it to cut. Mine cuts well, but I don't feel as comfortable. I'd feel much more comfortable with one of Kyle's edges. But will it eventually sell? Well, we need to talk about tomorrow or someday soon. See that little? I like that little bit of a choil. Is it just cut in with a Dremel?
that sharpening tool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cut in with a 4.5-inch cutting wheel.
What if you took that same cutting wheel? Would it make any sense? And I'm thinking what's making my brain go here is Jack Wolf's and cut like a little angle back to make it like a little half triangle cut out.
Yeah, I've done it before. You absolutely can, but I don't like the way that little.
That's
it looks like
beautiful.
a piece.
That's absolutely gorgeous.
And those I made myself. And I thought that was going to be the last of it because I couldn't get the honeycomb for less than about $85 a sheet for a 12 by 12 sheet. But I just found it. Oh, that reminds me. I don't think you'll spend $15.
Shane, has anybody ever done a Thug? I know Stevie's shown his off. Has anybody ever even reviewed a Thug?
No.
This one's Kathleen's.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. I love
That
that.
there's red. There's red on that side too. It's random. It's in random spots.
Well, there's also red in the.
Yeah, so I don't know how deep you'd have to sand to expose it.
A lot.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool there. There's like two eyeballs.
Yeah.
Those are red. Those aren't. That looks like. Turn that back over, if you don't mind. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say it like that. That is very cool.
I do know if I ever do that again, I'll add more red. But here's the problem. Everybody talked about how pretty that was. Nobody bought any of it. None of y'all bought any of that. I made like 4 or 5 knives in that material, and nobody asked about buying any of it. So I don't know if I'll do that color again or not.
Well, my question is, and what I'd like to try to help is on the marketing. I wonder how many people know, because like I don't even know how many frets there are. That's why I want us all to talk, because a lot of that you can overcome just by planning and doing a little marketing. Think about what you sold just off the fact that people know you're making knives, where so few people being exposed to them. I probably had, if I added up the 4 or 5 times I've posted this, it's probably gotten 10,000 views, ton of comments, ton of likes. One guy, I broke on somebody today in the comment section.
Well, we are going to start sending it to some channels. Did I leave?
No.
Guys, my computer's doing something crazy. If I leave, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm still good. But we are going to start sending it to some other channels. Because here's the thing. It's just like, we're talking to Sharif about, as great a knives as Sharif makes, Sharif can't make a living off this little group. You have to get outside the group to grow. So, I'm going to send, if Stas has already agreed to do a review on it, if Cole wants to do a review, whatever.
Casey wants to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say makeup remover.
Richard, that's not a problem, buddy. It's on its way. Maybe in the mailbox right now, actually. I need to go look here in a minute.
I'm just going to give a huge.
So
Richard, you were one of the first, so you're definitely getting one of this first batch. I have a fret coming back because the handle material on it just did not look good. So I'm going to rescale it. So I'll make that one yours, and I'll do the black and silver on it. Do you have that, Kyle, to show people why we're redoing it?
I don't think it's necessary, but
okay, yeah, it's not. It just didn't. It just don't look good. It was just kind of
Yeah,
muddy.
I mean, it was. Yeah, it wasn't. It wasn't bad.
I'm
It just
getting anything wrong. But
right.
You just have to remember when I buy these blocks, all I can see is the entire block, and then it's cut into 1/8-inch thick strips. Some of those strips don't have the color and the contrast that others do. You know, the very center of that block might not look like the outer edge does. So sometimes it doesn't. You know, sometimes it don't work out, and that's fine. Definitely send it to Jim Skelton.
I'm just laughing. I'm just waiting for the next thing to see you say, because I like this one the best.
Well, what will I do? What will I do if he tells me I'm not ready and sends it back?
So let me tell y'all something funny, and I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead. Yeah, you just take it as you ask the question. That asks the question. Well, what do you think I need to do to be ready? You always come back with a question if somebody gives you advice like that. What would you do differently? You don't ever let somebody give you an opinion without a solution, because that's the worst thing.
That he would do that. I don't know that he would do that to somebody if it send their shit back and refuse to do the review. I bet that's hurtful if it happens.
Well, what happened with Casey's first knife? Did Metal Complex just not get to it in time?
I think that was the deal. I think he didn't get to it in time, and I think he kept it too long, so other people didn't get to review it before the drop.
Yeah, there was something.
I remember him being a little sore about that. But man, you can't
expect to be special. We're not special.
Have an expectation of when it's gonna.
We're not special. Like I told Michael Martin, I said, anything you send me, as long as you send me no more than 3 at a time, I will have back to you within a week. I will have you a shipping label back, because I don't need knives for a long time. I don't use them. I also told him I won't cut with them because I want them to go back to.
It's great, John, that you do that, but Michael can't expect that. Is what I'm saying.
Right.
No, I know he can't.
That's what he was doing. He was expecting Metal Complex to get it, open it, do a positive review, and send it on its way. And that's not what Dick did, and he got a little upset about it.
Well, I think he's got a probably impressive schedule that he works off of. He's probably pretty organized for as much content.
Yeah, I know, like Jared is probably planning, and you know those guys actually write. They write what they're going to say. They write a script for each one. Probably doing that a month or two ahead of time, I bet. And I'm sure Metal Complex is too.
Do you know I've written cheat sheet that I set off to my side that might say things I would forget, like HRC or Blade Steel if I can't pronounce it?
Fucking Stevie, dude. He's such a dick. Thanks, Ed. What else won't work? Oh, shit.
He does it in fun, though.
Oh, I know he does.
He does it in fun. We're talking about how big the community is and why I think Tri-State would be a great person to send it to.
I think Tri-State would probably be more willing.
I was in there tonight
to review the knife for you.
I recommended I recognized 2 people out of 124. Yeah. I'd seen their names twice before, and one of them, I'm not going to name them or dox them, but it was just 2 people that are, I know I've seen them, but everybody else was brand new, and they knew about knives. So
and here's another thing, man. If they don't want to review my knife, or they don't think it fits their viewers' taste, that's all right too, man. It ain't gonna hurt my feelings.
Yeah, I'd like constructive feedback. I'd like feedback.
But I did a lot to promote that guy. I mean, up until just a couple months ago, actually. I never stopped.
I think Cole thinks you'd be all friends. Like I said in that YouTube group. Because after Duty made that video of the 5 channels he still watched, there was some, I'm not going to call it, maybe some people that felt slighted, that it was kind of a shitty video to do, but it wasn't made for creators to watch. But
are people's feelings that fucking soft?
Well, what I said, I wrote a paragraph and then it said, what we need to do, if I ever take myself that seriously, it's I think the obligation of the community to come sit me the fuck down and tell me I've lost my mind. Because if you can't take it something lighthearted, because somebody was talking about making a response, like their own video, kind of mocking it.
And I did not say that. I don't know where you heard that, but I did not. Those words did not come out of my mouth.
I think that was I don't remember that either, but so
I don't know what you're talking about.
I think it was he did look at it, and I didn't say it, but my understanding was he did not think it was ready for what he was asking for. Now, I don't agree with that, but I'm not a big Jim Skelton fan. Never have been. That's just me. I own 2 of his knives. I appreciate what he does.
Do you?
But
What knives did you own?
I own the what's that one that looks like a bird, like it looks like a parrot. The Caliburn in S90V.
Oh, I don't know anything about
Kuya
this.
Caliburn. They're both
These are
Kuya.
the ones he had made in China.
Yeah, these are China knives. These are China Jim
I
Skelton
never
knives.
paid any attention to it.
Shayna.
Yeah.
Javon's head.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to show you all a cool design that I showed you before from Tenable. But this is the concept version. Tenable is in 14C and it's in G10. And this one's really thin and small in carbon fiber.
I'm going to sue on that. Looks too much like the.
It doesn't look anything like it. I'll send you one to look at. It doesn't look anything like. This is a what's the guy's name? God, hold on. I would have some Styles. He's a
Julia Stiles.
No.
About you?
No.
That's my favorite rom-com.
I'm Googling it. Damn it.
Shane, you need to come out with a top 5 video of top 5 knives that look like my thug.
Shane's best video ever was the fucking
Cole did kind of bust my balls for naming it the Thug. He was like, that's real original, Shane. There's only like 10 knives named the Thug. I was like, well, you're right. But
what's a Thug?
We makes a Thug. I know. And I know there was a Thug before the We Thug. But those are Chinese production knives. This is a handmade, American-made knife. It's a different thing.
Correct. And it doesn't have a mustache.
I'm sure at some point in time, somebody's named a knife the Phoenix. But who cares? You know, there's
there's a Pinion. And the funny thing about it is the Pinion came out about a year and a half before the Pinion that's more well-known came out. It's a totally different knife. It's a small fixed blade that Amsler Tools made.
Right.
So this knife is designed by Jonathan Styles. Have y'all heard that name?
Is it Kenda Julia?
No. Jonathan is a knife maker, designer from the island of Newfoundland, Canada.
She was awesome in the Bourne Ultimatum.
I agree with you.
But I don't know something.
But this dude's been an outdoorsman his whole life, hunting, fishing, hiking. Nature's his inspiration for his designs and function art for his knife making motto. This is reminds me.
Say that.
Huh?
You can be homeless and say that.
Sure. That's like being a naturalist. That's what I've heard.
Gary Burrell's right. There is only one triple XL Thug.
I think that used to be, or might still be, Melissa Backwood's
she stole my design too.
Is a naturalist.
She stole my design too.
That Warren EDC? Really? Because see, I've but I've shown you that blade, right?
Yeah. I am going to do a ringed Thug.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I'll just keep it.
There's nothing wrong with that. I think the ring knives, I'll tell you the trick. Well, I guess it's personal preference.
You just can't carry them in the front though, because you're a tactical muffin top.
Right.
I don't like a thick ring like this. I'll let you check out some of Tim's rings because they're bigger and you don't even know they're there. They do what you want them to do.
So you're telling me to copy TKL?
No, I'm just telling you to look at, because I've felt a lot of ring knives and I've never been a fan. I've gotten one from Concept. I've got this custom. I always feel like putting my hand inside the ring. But his ring is so big and thin, and I say big, it's just bigger and thin that you don't even realize that your finger's in a ring. And maybe it's the way that it's in, maybe
is everybody has different shaped and sized hands, and you can kind of move your hand around on a knife handle to compensate for that. But once you put your pinky in that ring, you're locked into the position that the maker designed, and that may not work for you. So that makes sense because you've got small hands, so that, you know, a ring knife may not be ideal for you.
And that's where I go to for defensive tactics.
Kyle, there's way too much hate in here tonight. Way too much spite. Fuck y'all and y'all's passive aggressive.
I'm going to get a little graphic here.
All
So
right.
I apologize for small children, but this ring is more cock ring size than a finger ring size. Your thumb would not get where you couldn't adjust your grip. So what's unique about all of his rings,
That ain't gonna fit around a chicken.
If you
you don't know it's there.
greased its head in it, I see what you're saying.
You see what I'm saying is not to copy it, but see how it's not. I mean, my thumb,
So if you're gonna do it, make it thin and make it big.
and it's also the way he incorporates it, I think, into the back of the handle. Because what I'm saying is, they've always felt uncomfortable in my hand. You don't feel, and I'll send you this to check out. You don't feel that it's a ring knife.
I mean, I absolutely love this knife. Kyle, remind me again who gave this to me?
Jesus. Snot rag.
Snot rag. And
No, it's no trog.
I didn't think I would like it because of the ring, but look there. Thin and a huge opening.
And if you don't think about the ring being there,
And it actually allows me to change, watch this finger.
thank you, Stevie.
To change where I'm at on the handle because there's enough room in the ring.
Oh, Stevie. Okay.
Ed, the problem is, and I was talking to a buddy of mine this past week who bought his second knife. He bought a Kershaw live wire. I took him out to the knife store, which reminds me of the gossip. I want to tell y'all about another knife creator. Y'all ask me about that in a second. But I'm sure you can't. But I also heard Steve-O say it. Getting sober is just the symptom covering up the weirdness that makes people like me get to a point of using as hard as I did to give myself a personality. So you take all that away, and the weird is still pretty prominent. So sometimes microdosing is something I'm a believer of. Because my brain moves
for a second.
Hang on.
Chinese shilling to do.
One second, Shane. Javon.
Go ahead. I'll grab some water while y'all talk.
Thanks for reminding me. I'm gonna keep that up there.
You're okay, Shane. Sorry, I just had a question for you.
I gotta cut out. I gotta get to bed.
No, you don't. You're a young man, Ryan. How many hours do you need to sleep? Like,
Ryan, I said
I gotta get up.
Back.
What did he say?
He said, "Are you getting ready to make warm milk?" I know you're a hard worker, dude. I'm kidding you. I'd go to bed too. Plus, we're boring. You can say it. Y'all are wearing me out. This is just my out. This is my ace in the hole. Dude, you're welcome anytime. And I love having you here.
Peace out, guys.
See you, Ryan.
Brother. Have a good day tomorrow.
Love y'all.
Love you too, brother.
I got to figure out.
So said Stevie, I walked into my local knife store, and you might have met Tate, the younger guy, Tate Estes. He was with me at Blade Show a little bit Saturday night, and when we got back from the Kaiser dinner, and he was with me some Friday. Really nice guy. He's one of the owners, but John is an older guy. He's probably my age or a little older maybe, but he was the owner and has been for over 35 years. They've been there forever. They're a Benchmade premier dealer. The only one in Alabama, or one of the only ones. They have really cool stuff. So anyway, this knife YouTuber, who the first thing I said was, holy shit, he lives in Huntsville? And he does. And he lives in Washington, D.C. But he does government work, so he was in town. And they said he came in and asked me if I knew who he was. And I had to think about it for a second. Then I pulled up the channel and I said, is this him? They were like, yes. And my mouth dropped open. They said he was in there for 4 hours. They've never met a bigger fucking asshole in their life. They were at the point of telling him to leave.
Didn't the owner leave? Just he didn't have to put up with it?
Yeah, the owner left. And the owner told me when I went back there Monday to Shane to take that Marathon Select back, he said, did they tell you about that motherfucker? He told the one guy, the young guy, who's literally knows a lot about really cool custom knives, that, I can't believe you can't answer that question. And the owner was standing right there and he goes, I can't believe you work in a knife store. Hey, JSPR, EDC, what's up, buddy? Welcome. So it was a wild story. And then when I found out who it was, I was like, holy shit. I was like, dude. And
it was Mattisfaction, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't Maddie. If and I don't even want to say. Well, it doesn't matter to
You can
me.
say, who cares?
Yeah,
You're
it,
CBRX.
it was CBRX guy. That guy was in there and spent 4 hours. And they finally told him to go check out St. Nick's Knives. You know, they've got a website, but they're not even called St. Nick's Knives in anymore. They do have a lot of knives, but they're called something outdoors.
Are they really?
Yeah, they're big, dude. They're
Is that going to affect the St. Nick line of exclusives?
No, they'll still get their exclusives. They still got their, you know,
That's
their
all we give a shit about when it comes to St. Nick's.
right. Well, they used to have, you know, Dylan, the guy that used to be there. He only worked there on Saturdays. He was their buyer. He's the one that pre-ordered 2 Jaegers back when they were Jaeger M's and they were from the same company, just different colorways. He said, "I'm happy to." Because I told him I was interested in one. He goes, "Well, I've got 2 Flipperless coming. I'm happy to sell you one for what I've got in it." When I determined, no, said Stevie, it was that I'll pull his channel up.
Don't give him any credit.
No, it's the guy that used the lead tester that him and Outdoor 55 went. Well, Outdoor 55 kind of shut him down. Alex, who's, by the way, guys, a very nice guy. That is a nice, humble.
Outdoor 55 is the best knife related channel on YouTube.
But he's also a nice, humble human being.
Shane, you got some watermelon lip gloss to go with that?
I'm not a doctor, but I'll take a look.
Going spelunking?
Yeah, this is my flashlight that I scammed the Chinese out of again. I didn't scam them. I'm going to do the review like I said I would. I'm a man of my word.
You should, dude. That's how I got there.
If I can get free flashlights, repeat, free. I paid nothing for it.
But you're going to put time into it.
And it really is a good flashlight, in all honesty. I mean, you buy an Energizer, whatever, they're all Chinese made now. And I actually have a dual fuel headlamp that I paid more money for from Nightcore, and it's not as good as this Bright Eye.
I used to buy and own one now, but not the nice ones. If I was a knife guy back when I skateboarded, I always had one that would go around my helmet. And I used to like a big one that I could kind of turn it down a little bit so I'd illuminate in front of my wheels.
Yeah.
But they're good to have.
Put a headlamp on. We'll all have on colored headlamps.
Well, I can take my color to make it white. I just tried to dim it down. But I'm like you say, I'm a fan of flashlights. I like I was telling these guys, I like my main flashlight that I carry in my pocket, but also like my arc feld. I like the form factor of my Nightcore. I like the form factor of this little light. I think it's brilliant. I forgot to turn this one on.
You know what
this little light that I use to light up Jason Brown's plaque. I'm sorry, Kyle, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say what I'm most impressed about that light with is that they actually got a band to fit around your head.
And hey, they're slack. Dude, look, there's still a few more rounds in the adjuster.
So is that like a Chinese belt?
Yeah, this is supposed to be a crotch light.
A waist light. Have y'all seen this little guy before?
This is a Chinese street light, dude. This goes around the pole. And it would light up a whole intersection. I ain't never seen that. What was that, John?
Well, this is the little light I've always got on Jason's plaque back there. It's a
It's a little ambiance light.
Reuben. It's like what I would consider to be a good camp light because it's magnetic.
Yeah. There's plenty of metal in the woods.
It's got white light. It's got yellow light. It's also a good, you know what it's made for, Shane?
What?
To put on the back of an iPhone where it's magnetic, like this.
Yeah.
And use it as a selfie light. But it's also a good reading light, and it's got a dial where you can turn up or down the intensity.
Right.
And it stands up. I set it back here, light up.
Yeah, this is my EDC flashlight, which is a Nightcore. If you ask me why I chose Nightcore, they are an American company, but it's still a Chinese product. This has been a pretty good little flashlight. It's a little bit cheaper than what was the one you were talking about that's like this?
Arcfeld.
Arcfeld, yeah. I think this one's like $70.
And a really good light. And we've got to say, you said it before about knives. If you're going to do business and get the value, at least part of it's going to an American company. They're making a decision.
That's not the case for Brymont, though. They're pure China.
Friends don't let friends buy O-lights.
I thought you said it was an American company, but it's made in China.
Oh,
Oh, the other one, yeah.
Nightcore is not Bronite.
That's okay. I'm not going to call you bees. I'm not going to get you a CCP hat.
Here's my other Bronite flashlight that I got for free for doing a review. Let's turn them all on.
Shane, I thought you told me to calm down.
We're shilling, Kyle. Leave us alone.
I don't have links for, and you know what I did get fixed today? Thanks to Lefty EDC, who I don't care what y'all say. He's one of my favorites. I love Lefty. I told him when he gets, I want to do Off the Edge again. I always thought he and I would get in interested, heating conversation. But he helped me get, I've got a Blade HQ link now where I'd taken it down because I got banned from Share Sale because of an unnamed person. I'm convinced that's the only way that I would have gotten banned.
Oh, that was the other light I was going to get. Thanks, Jasper.
I need to take this key ring off because it's kind of dangling. It takes away from the function of the headlight.
I got Terry a little gift because he was so expedient on getting my knives out, and I appreciate it. But I was shocked when I got this. I knew it was a keychain light, but I was not prepared for the size of this thing.
Probably all you need. Look at that. But it's probably plenty to get to your key, to your door, anything that you
I'm
really...
sure that's all it's for, but I don't know what you have to do to make it come on. I mean, surely, no, it's rechargeable. There's a charge cable in here. I don't even know how you turn it on.
Probably click it 5 times, 3 times. I start with 5.
Oh, there it goes. No, it's just a turn. But I'm
Get
sure
my headlight back on.
I think Terry just wanted it because it's copper, so he wants to shipwreck it. But I mean, literally, here it is beside my pinky. This thing is tiny, tiny. I don't know what kind of battery that would take. Kyle, help me remember to ship you this. Because stuff typically comes to you and then Terry, so I'm going to get you to pass it along. Was it Scotch and Things? Was what Scotch and Things?
No, it was CRBX. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you what he looks like, and let's see. You can hear him. He's an engineer, and I said that's what I asked him. I said, "Did he have engineer vibes?" And they said he had asshole vibes.
Shane, so you mean wait to ship him stuff until you send me that, or what?
No.
Okay.
I've got some stuff soon coming to you, and some of it will go to Terry, so you can ship. That'll go with it.
Because I finished up all the handles today, so I'm going to try to get out or get to actual blade starting tomorrow.
Yeah, no hurry. I got it's at the shop. I didn't bring it, but I got snot rags done. So
Snow trog.
His is done. I got Brandon Sutton's pre-ground. I got the swedge ground in it. Really happy with the swedge. Sent him pictures. So yeah, dude, that backlog that has caused us so much stress and anxiety is almost gone.
Yep. That one all the frets are going to Terry for sheaths, and then the one's going back to Javon.
Cannot buy a fret without a leather sheath.
I just want to make sure, you said it earlier it was going to Javon. I was making sure that wasn't going to him before it goes.
Yeah, it was going to Terry first.
Right. Okay.
This I was told a very unpleasant, not kind, better than everybody around him human being. The quote was, "Hope I never see him again."
I'm not saying they're all this way, but every engineer that I've ever had any experience with,
my experience too,
were not only assholes, but they were
in stock.
Ignorant.
Dude, we built a house at the Ledges for an engineer, and he didn't want more than 2 steps. 1 step going into it from his garage into his house. He lived on the Ledges, right? So you can think it's not going to be. You don't want to set the height of your crawl space based on 1 step into your bedroom. He insisted on it. And we told him that's only going to be 2 blocks high. You're not going to get any airflow under your house, and you're sitting in a cloud at 900 feet. I know what I'm doing. his floors buckled the whole time. They had to run humidifiers under the house. I think it caused him and his wife to have a divorce.
Stevie's going to love this story. Listen to Stevie. Our city engineer, an outside engineering group, drew up some plans for some drainage in town, and it called for a 12-inch drain pipe. Our city engineer realized that he could buy 2 6-inch drain pipes cheaper, so he had them run 2 6-inch drain pipes because that was the same as a 12-inch drain pipe. Now, I don't expect all of y'all to get this.
Well, we're talking about there's a term that
Stevie will understand what I'm saying. 2 6-inch drain pipes are not the same as a 12-inch drain pipe.
No, because there's a fluid. What do you call that? There's a basic measurement that's going to be totally different in terms of the flow rate.
4 6-inch pipes into a 12-inch pipe. I think it's 4 times the flow anyway, something like that.
I've
I don't know the exact numbers. I just know that shit don't work. And that's a college-educated engineer that works for the city.
Yeah. Well, see, I thought this guy, because I've watched his content because he used to use a lead tester. He did get an HRC tester when people called him out on you can't test thin steel with the $200 lead tester and then use a conversion to get a true HRC. He failed Jared's knife. That was a big video that I think got Alex 55 that I think was kind of sweeping for Jared involved in that. I think that's what made Alex make his video. But I thought this, I'm going to play just a little of it because I thought it was just kind of an act, right? I thought it was his online persona. No, they say he's a,
right, but that's going to be his niche. He's the asshole.
That's gear review channel.
People love
but when you go into a knife store,
because here we are, John. It works because here we are. He's on the screen.
But no, but what I'm saying is I can see if it's a persona, an on-screen persona, you're not going to be that way if you walk in.
Who he really is.
That's what I'm saying. He's a legit, not these two guys that I respect and I think are very kind human beings and have always been very patient with me. Even when I first came in there with Dark Gravity, to just look at knives to find out what kind of store they were just very warm and invite. Well, Tate didn't even work there. He was at St. Nick's. I knew him from another knife store. I can't imagine going in and telling people they don't know what they're talking about and wanting to handle literally 4 hours, handled everything, every ProTech, every Spider coat. And he did buy a very nice Benchmade, but he handled every knife and was asking questions and negotiating, they just, for all of them to be so adamant, I'm sure you don't know this guy, but wow.
For Tate to call somebody an asshole, they have to be pretty bad.
Oh, and when you meet him up there, I know you've met him at Blade Show, but when you see him up there, I'll have him tell you the story because I was like, I can't imagine that. He was like, Tate was like,
extremely docile human being.
The only reason they didn't ask him to leave was they were afraid he'd make a video talking about them being mean to him. And they weren't being mean. They said they just did everything he wanted, but he was so commanding and so demanding. And they had other customers coming in and out, which made it worse. Because they had a couple of knives in when I was there Monday. I was trying to get one to A to Z. They had 2, and John, the older owner, bought one of them. Is it the Unenzon that's kind of frag, and they make one with a harpoon blade? They had 2 harpoon Unenzons because it wasn't an Nkosi, I don't think. And they have 5. If anybody's looking for a Sabenza, small Sabenza, they've got 5. 2 of them are dog paw patterns. A big dog paw in blue and small dog paws in blue. And they've got a canvas micarta or some kind of micarta. And they have that white stuff. I don't know what it's called, but it's a little bit more expensive than the burl oak. It looks like bone. But they've got a lot of, and this trader and that's one of the things that makes knives a more unique store is they have a lot of traders that come in. I was walking out of there Monday morning and an old man came in. I have no idea what he had in the duffel bag, but he said people in the knife club told me if I wanted to get rid of these knives that I needed to come here first. So who knows what he had in that bag? And he was probably 70, 75. But these guys don't only trade in slip joints, they trade in modern knives too, but they keep really cool stuff there. The knife they let me review, I went because I'll go Saturday afternoon. They close at 6. I go about 5:30, and I'll have Tate put together like a knife, 2 knives, 3 knives that they just like that are rare that they'd like to have out there because they sold knives off by videos. They don't have a website, but they'll sell over the phone. I got to bring home a Marathon Select. I would never buy it or be interested in it, but it costs more than a one wheel. You know what a one wheel is? Those electronic skateboards.
Yeah, John, we're not dumb. We know what a one wheel is.
But it had a blued Baker Forge copper my Damascus blade, and I have no idea what that is, but it looked awesome.
Right.
The if it was a CRK, that was the fake ivory, which is Elferon, is the name for it.
The blade I'm talking about was on a Microtech that I reviewed.
No, I was talking about, you said the one that looked like bone. That's
yeah,
Elferon.
it's white.
It's fake ivory.
Really? Why is it so expensive? Because of the way they lay it in?
It shouldn't be. It's not
Or
any more
sought
expensive.
after. I think they were saying. I think they were
They didn't
trying
make
to
as
tell me
many.
that it was sought after. They priced them all at table, and I was surprised because this guy that they trade from has never taken them out of the boxes.
So
Never
that
carried
material
them.
is not any more expensive than the wood inlays or the micarta that they do. It's
I
just
think the
that
bog oak's the prettiest, in my opinion.
it's okay.
Yeah, I like the bog oak.
And I like, though, on that Encosia, I like the frag pattern, the raw tie. And that's what's neat about the dog paw patterns. That they're raw tie scales, but they've got blue etched in dog paws, which are supposedly rare and make them more desirable.
You want to know why I know what a one wheel is? Because of Big Booty Bailey. She's all
Look
the
at
time
you
doing
go.
reviews on one wheels.
Or on
Think
vehicles
about
like that. Well, you're talking about a one wheel that you sit on. That's not what I'm talking about.
No, she stands on it.
She stands on the one wheel.
She's actually good at it though. Like she'll ride it across a big long 2x4 that's elevated.
Yeah, well, that's
By the way, those aren't closed.
That's a unicycle.
John,
The
those
one-
aren't closed. That's paint. That's latex paint. It's an electric one wheel.
Right, but when I say one wheel, the one I was referring to,
You know, it's got like the board on each side.
right. I was going to buy one before I got into the
one of
knife
those
hobby.
too.
Oh, sure, and you can ride those if you're good at
She
them
still
off
calls that
road.
a one wheel. Not that I watch all of her videos.
And she can ride that thing off road too. Like she can go on trails with those unicycles. I'd be scared to ride a unicycle. I've thought about that.
She rides one of those on like the mountain bike trails. Like
this one was 5.
Like she'll ride it down a fence post. She's good at it.
We've gone
She also
off the rails.
She also has an OnlyFans, but don't fall for that shit.
I'm not hating on her. And she's gonna have to live with that shit, not me.
Right.
This one was 5, and literally I talked my buddy A to Z. He was like, dude, did you take pictures of it? I was like, no, but I'll get you pictures. And I called down there, and I'd met a guy when I was leaving, because I went down there Monday morning. I make a habit of, if they lend me a knife when they close, I want them to have the knife when they open the door, so they don't lose any time of it, right? All they're getting is extra, and it's worked out well. But when I was leaving, I stayed there for about an hour just shooting the shit with them, hearing about that CRBX guy, hearing John's side of it. And this guy came in, Ian, and he was talking about knives.
Derek for real follows her too. That's hilarious.
Derek for real is the man. Derek, we need to talk, buddy. I've not been ignoring you. I've just been so out of pocket with my dad. I won't even get into it here, but you, dude, I definitely want to rally with you.
She got a camel toe that looks like a pile of dog shit. Somebody rode a bicycle through it.
Hatchet wound, dude.
Sorry, Kathleen.
Sorry, Kathleen. Shane can't control himself sometimes.
I get a little out of hand. I apologize.
It's okay. Hey,
I don't know if she's still here. I haven't seen her in
no,
an
but
hour,
she probably is. She's probably dropped, but she loves Shane anyway. She knows. I mean, he's authentic. He apologized. He meant nothing by it. I said gaping hatchet wound. I need to apologize too. I'm sorry, Kathleen.
You two are bad influence on me.
Kathleen is the most necessary person in this community because she does make her stop sometimes and think about.
Let me tell you something. I'm not gonna.
She is our conscience.
Kathleen's not only our conscience. Kathleen, on more than one occasion, has done me such solid favors and had me, without even realizing it, rethink entire situation. And I'm forever indebted to her for that, for taking the time to share perceptions. I think that's important. I think it's courageous, but B, I think it's important in self-development, especially for somebody like me who's doing something I don't know what I'm doing. I'm hacking away at this, playing the game, right? In all truth, I've probably alienated myself from ever getting a real job, because if they ever Googled me, they could go watch my live streams and they'll say, "Oh, that dude's kind of whack." Do
That's
I
what
care?
interviews for.
0 fucks given.
Hey, John.
Yep.
On that knife earlier you showed with the ring, where would you carry that?
I carry it. I've got one. I carry it with a pocket clip, an ulti clip in my back pocket, like anything else. I know you should carry it. If I was going to carry this knife. Got a shorter one.
Mark knows we can hear you. Should we say anything?
No.
I would carry this appendix style, but I've got it right now where I carry it in my back pocket, just like I carry any other fixed blade.
You have an appendix where your appendix is, I have a large crease.
Well,
So
that's where, if I'm not,
that would disappear in my appendix.
if I'm not mistaken, for a weapon, for a close combat weapon that you're supposed to use to just get by yourself distance, that's the best place to have it mounted, in the front, right? I don't do that. I mount it in the back because I'm never going to be in that situation. But this knife, I'm going to show it to you guys real quick.
You're right. Derek is built like a fence post.
He's one of the kindest dudes ever. I wouldn't want him driving me around, but besides that, anything else is open.
Yeah, I'm not going anywhere with him in public.
Oh, I am. I'm wanting. That's what I want to talk to him about. I'm hoping to go to fish with him in Birmingham coming about. But this is the TKL Nightshade Reverse Tonto. It's a little short guy, but it uses the same ring, Shane. That ring on every one except for the ring, which they call the little ring extension that goes on the collaboration knife, the Warren EDC. It's a little thinner, but it's still not going to get in the way. But it gives you the same advantage from a little pry bar, from a skull crucker, to it's not going to fall off. But this knife looks like just a little sharp razor knife, which it is. But this front bevel's 60 degrees, 30 per side.
Do you carry that one inside or outside the waistband in the front?
I carry it. If I was going to carry it in the waistband, I would carry it on loops on the outside. But I don't carry this on my waistband. I carry it.
I want to talk about the P320. Everybody else is.
Everybody says it's a gun that'll get you killed. I've got a 365 and a 232 and a 322, and I don't think
the 322 is a hell of a pistol. It was just,
I don't think I've ever had a misfire on any. Well, yeah, I have on the 322. The 322 has misfired several times, which is understandable while I was finding dialing in the right ammo, the right freedom pills. But I don't think I've ever had a problem with my P365 or the P232.
There's only a handful of them that I would actually own, and most of them are older. I'm not a fan of their newer technology modular systems because it's clearly not ideal.
Well, dude, I even checked my Canic, which is
what do you rely on, buddy?
It don't have all that slide wiggle. That is a cool little knife.
And they're 150, dude.
Yeah.
And this one's Nitro V. No, maybe it's not. And they make it in a Warncliffe. I didn't like the Warncliffe because it didn't have that. That to me is wicked.
Yeah.
That 30 degree per sides front bevel. I mean, you could just, or what the ring's good for is right there.
You can do what?
That's what the ring's good for.
No, what was that other thing you said you could do with it? I missed it. Yeah, that.
I could give y'all some screenshots. I know what y'all are doing. Thanks, Ed. I don't have you never know. I had a crazy, this is before I did YouTube, but I think since I've got on Instagram, since I don't want to have a lapse, and I do have a lapse in corporate employment, I'm technically employed with a advertising agency out of Montgomery called DePop Advertising. However,
like right now?
Yeah, for the last 2 years, we had an issue, and it wasn't an issue. It was just something that I just felt wasn't handled right, and I kind of backed off, which was my fault because I had the contacts here in Huntsville, that I've been working for years, and I was going to go after some of those contacts. I don't have a non-compete. I wouldn't sign one because I was not in sales. I was in management. So I was going to go after some of those clients, and there was kind of a falling out, and I still screwed myself by not. But at the same time, I was so burnt out on those relationships because they were so tumultuous, and they had been, most of them had been 5 to 8 years. And I was going to be taking a relationship from a business with 5 to 8 years and bringing it on my back, where I didn't know. It's different when you're working for a Fortune 500 company, the back end support you have, i.e. in terms of executing something that you sell when it's all digital currency. And if you're relying on people, one of them, I wouldn't piss on a fire to put her out, and she's in charge of a lot of that. Feeling my livelihood and my relationship, dealing with somebody that could drop the ball that bad was something I just didn't, I didn't want to bring the business in. So that didn't go well. I am helping his son do a fishing YouTube channel though. So anyway, I'm a content creator, and my YouTube channel is on LinkedIn because that's still digital marketing, right? Like I told you guys, that's why I originally started making knife videos for Calhoun Community College. It's a college here in Huntsville, and they're a client of mine. And they use YouTube, but they didn't know what they were looking at. They were trying to find out what attribution was on YouTube. And I said, it's not. You're not going to find conversions, the things you're looking for, new students on YouTube. You're looking for view times. You're looking for people engaging in your videos that talk about the classes you offer. You won't ever find a one-to-one. This person saw the video, so that worked because we got a student off of that.
Right.
Social media doesn't work that way. It's very important, and you can sell off of social media and get those sales, but if you're a college, you really can't.
That's what you're saying.
Gentlemen,
Even if you do, there's no way to track it.
Oh, don't leave. Talk about knives. I hear.
It's almost 2 a.m., so I'm gonna graciously bow out.
We've been here 3 hours and 2 minutes. We've been here 2 minutes longer than Cole, so you win. You can bow out graciously. Even if you only stayed an hour, you could, buddy.
I love you, Kyle. I'm sorry we were mean to you.
I love you too, Kyle. You know, when we pick around, we do it out of fun.
It's okay. I'm not upset. I just like to get out a complete thought when I'm having asked a question.
Well, you've got to raise your voice and go squirrel brain. You know that I'm mentally challenged. I don't.
It wasn't just you, dude.
It wasn't just you. It was me and Ryan pouring it on because it was pissing him off.
Never be pissed if you're in the same stage. Speak up and say, hey, shut the fuck up. You're a young man, though. You'll get there. When you turn 50, that's when I realized none of this other shit matters.
I try to be polite and then just give it to you harder next time on something else.
By the way, Tactical Terry, I don't know if he's in here, but I will let him know before Saturday that he got the gifted membership that Zach donated. So he needs to definitely stop by.
I just thought of something, John. So the fret you have it already has a leather sheath. Okay.
It's got a leather sheath. It's wonderful. The only downside to this knife is I sharpened it. And I've got it very sharp. I mean, I sharpened it with the TS Prof. I just whacked
John,
it.
if somebody buys it and the scratches are an issue, you can ship it back to me.
No, that's not going to be an issue. I just know that Kyle's is going to be much sharper, like towards the heel. The first 3/4 of this knife are absolutely dangerous. I'm surprised I have not cut myself with it yet. But the heel is not as sharp as I'd like it to be. And I thought about going through it. I might this weekend, since Kyle's talked about using that water, 50% water, 25% soap, and 25% baby oil.
You mentioned the tape.
I've got the tape too. I've got the blue tape and I've got the other tape. I just don't want to, I want to learn. To me, as much as I pay attention, now in Atlanta, I was kind of showing you fast because we had a lot of knives, but I've learned to feel the difference of when you go to that drop point you can feel the sharpener. You've got to kind of let it turn the way it wants to. So I've gotten I feel like consciously tuned in the stone, and the fact that that's what's causing my scratches, and my scratches aren't bad. You probably can't see them. You can see them right there.
Yeah.
Those two places, and then
if I'd sharpened it, it would have been that bad or worse.
well, it's perplexing because I never had it.
Right.
And like I say, tomorrow this is going to run through.
Well, that knife's finished. Is that a pretty high finish too?
Dude, and you do acid etching now, don't you?
I can.
Or do you like it as a pain in the ass?
Well, no.
Can you acid etch stainless?
I was just so proud of those grinds, I didn't want to hide them. Like Iggy's knife, I've got it right.
Oh, you don't have to get up. And I think these grinds are perfectly.
Iggy's knife had beautiful grinds on it, and then I acid etched it, and it broke my heart because it hid that.
Let me tell you something I learned from Kyle, but I learned more in person about the straightness of this plunge grind and how it's done like a Spyderco, how you don't need a sharpening choil on this knife because you can literally just ease the side of that stone up to it and start working it forward and backwards.
The reason why I'm so proud of that, John, is I used to use a plunge jig to make that happen, and I eyeball that. I do all that by hand now.
It is absolutely perfect. And again, I sharpened this twice. The first time, I don't know. It might have been sharp when it came, but it didn't seem sharp. It wasn't cutting the way I wanted it to cut. So I called or texted Kyle and set it at 20 degrees, sharpened it the first time. And the way I taped it, the way I wanted it set is I wanted the back clamp where it would be perpendicular with this plunge grind. So it was easy for me to get it in the clamps the second time I sharpened it more consistently than I would any other knife because I was lining it up with that plunge grind, right? So I think if I did it one more time with the little slightly dampened stone after I flatten them, because I just flatten them to get their full bite. I've got the stuff to do it. I think I want to sharpen it again because I feel a little bit of burr at the tip. I have trouble with tips and heels. He said the same thing, but
there you go.
I'm out too. Buddy. I gotta get set.
I'm gonna hang on here for a second as long as people are in here. We got 21 people in here. They'll start dropping in a second.
All right, buddy.
It's Brant in 20 years. Those are old. Hey guys, I love you both. Have a good night.
Take care, John. It was good.
I'm gonna sit here till my light goes dead on my forehead. Let me pull my NAS back up to the stage. Put my Fred out there. So guys, it has been an interesting knife. It's been an interesting night. And I'm just not tired. I know I'm not going to sleep. So, are there any specific knives y'all want to talk about? Do y'all want to talk about Darkwater? Is Darkwater in here? I met Darkwater at Blade Show. He was working at the concept booth. Very, very nice guy. That was one of the coolest things about the concept booth was they had Darkwater, as a matter of fact, sold me this knife, which is the Tenable par. A par is a salmon, is named after a salmon at its juvenile stage when they're the most active. This is an agile, sharp little EDC knife. And he was a hiker, Jonathan Stiles, the guy that designed it. So this one's 150. This one's 154 in G10, and it's about $50, 48. 14C. So this one's 14C and coated. And so this is one of the two knives I actually bought at Blade Show because I got picked up for $40. They only had one left, and I wanted to review it. One of the things I really was impressed with, which I've seen a couple of other companies do it, is they did not put the wonky tech lock that you see on almost every knife that comes from overseas, which is a fine lock. It works great on packs. You can carry it vertically or horizontally. I instantly take it off because it's heavy. But this knife had a little pocket dropper, and it was mounted. Ironically, the tenable was mounted where this is a pocket dropper right hand. So if I drop the sheath in my right pocket, the clip's going to be on the outside, right? It's going to do just like this. And I'll be able to reach down my right hand. So they're one of the first companies I've seen that released an EDC that was designed to be, I don't have a leg behind that, but I keep it in my back pocket, right? Got very tight retention. And then they sent me a concept to review. They sent me a couple of knives, and one of them is this knife. Now, I had to change the clip on this. I didn't have to change the design of the clip. I had to change the way it was mounted. This knife goes for about 99 bones, and the difference is it's got carbon fiber handles instead of G10, and it's got an S35VN blade. Both are coated blades. I don't think there's an advantage there. I think it's pretty cool, but what was odd is if you mount this clip on the other side, you can clip it on your belt so that it would be, open carry, I guess you'd say. I don't know why you'd ever want to do that. But some people like to carry in that way. It's much better than carrying it, or you could carry it, on, I don't think you could get it on a pew belt, but you could get it on a pretty thick belt. I'd say you got a 1/4 inch there, but I like the fact that this is a small knife. It's a light knife. I give it a thumbs up. The other knife I picked up at Blade Show was the TRM. And the simple fact there is I'm a TRM junkie. There's still a company that I can't not buy from. Had I waited and been willing to wait, I'm sure they would have eventually sent me a tag along to check out. And the new ones coming out, the ones that are being made now, are MagnaCut. The one I've got is some kind of Z. What's it called? It doesn't have the blade steel printed on it, but it's a spray version, powder metallurgy version of D2 when I Googled it. It's got 3 letters and a couple of numbers. But this is a knife that, again, after going by, when I went back Saturday, I didn't have a lot of cash on me. This was $150. It sells on their site for $170. And the new ones will be MagnaCut. But it is a little beefy blade, and I just love it. It's a small guy. And if you look at it compared to the fret, I'm bleeding. It loves me. That sucked. But if you look at these, the fret's a much bigger knife. And guys, that is sharp. We'll break down in a second, but I'm going to go real quickly, dry this off and put some liquid skin on it. But it does work. So the human skin test is a win. Hold on. Let me give you all some I'm back. So that was just, you guys saw, I literally just bumped my finger into the blade. This is alcohol, by the way. I'm spraying it on the paper towel because I'm also a hypochondriac. That's part of the beauty of mental illness, is it runs in threes. So now I could TT a little bit because I'm in so much pain from the alcohol, but I'm getting ready to use my medical glue. Hey, Derek's got a Doug Ritter for sale. Anybody want to buy some of my blood? So if I can get it to stop bleeding long enough, this stuff I think should be in every knife kit. It's called New Skin. You could use super glue too, just not sterilized. And I'm almost out. I need a new bottle. I'm gonna paint this. And it burns like a son of a bitch too. So it'll stay kind of bloody because it's gonna bleed under it. Now that I've painted it on, still bleeding. Be interesting to see if YouTube terms of service, if that's considered a bloody act. Purely accidental. But yeah, just slice myself right across the finger. It's got that super glue or the New Skin drying on top of it. So it's kind of like a tattoo, and it's not even my bird finger, it's my ring finger. So yes, guys, the fret will cut. While I've still got alcohol on it, I'm going to take the DNA off the blade. Because that's another way a knife can get traced back to you. It'll cut cardboard. I've tested on that. I've tested it on finger meat, and I've tested it on paper. So tomorrow it's going to get a lot more cardboard. I'm going to do some feather sticking at some point. But again, it's not designed to be a hard to use predator type bendy knife. It's super thin. Yeah, Richard, it owns me, buddy. I mean, that was, and it was funny because Monday, which would have been yesterday, when I was having that conversation with John and Tate, because Tate was showing me not a super nasty, but it was one of those weird ones. And then John was telling me, the older guy, about the time he dropped 8-inch Italian stiletto from about his waist into his foot, and it landed and impaled his big toe, went in by the crack of his toe, but it hit the top of his big toe, hit the bone, and then jumped because it was double-edged and went down. So it went all the way through his toe pretty much. So I've said, guys, I used to cut myself every 30 days at the longest. The knife that bit me the most when I was learning to flip a knife was the Demko 8020. Got more of my DNA in it than any knife. But I used to always get a finger cut. It was just happening. And then lately, I guess I've gotten better at using knives, more comfortable with them, that I rarely get them. But you saw that was a freak kind of lining up of one knife almost falling and the other one. And see, I don't have the patience to keep the direct pressure on it, which I also think is my biggest problem with the sharpening results that I'm wanting to get versus the feather sticking, Derek. If to me, it's going to be taking a little stick and holding it vertically on top of a stump, and then just taking the knife and not chopping, but just shaving it like that. And the trick of it is to get little pieces of wood to make a bird nest with. And once you get that bird nest, because you feather sticked, which means you just sliced off, kind of pointed the stick, but you're trying to create and gather the wood that's coming off, the small pieces, because I'm going to use that to start a fire with the ferro rod. By throwing a few sparks on the ferro rod, I'll be in good shape and good to go. But guys, it is late. I'm bleeding. I probably grossed everybody out. I love you all. Do me a favor. Look out for the guy or gal to your left. Always look out for the guy or gal to your right. Look out for each other. Go forward with love in your heart. Choose debate, not hate. I love you all. Deuces. As Stevie would say.
The night went out because we met a little bit, but are you high on cigarettes? And when that stuff runs out, you're gonna wanna make it. Are you high on cigarettes?
Let's watch two wrongs witness and get high on cigarettes. Let's watch two wrongs witness and get high on cigarettes. Let's watch two wrongs witness and get high on cigarettes. Let's watch two wrongs witness and get high on cigarettes. Do you know that you're right or wrong? 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 He don't smoke 'em, but he loves it when you do. That's why he's high on cigarettes.